It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone, welcome to Live the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name's Bart Hanson, I'm here with Dave Tuckman. It's Wednesday, which means it's the whale game, little $25.50 unrestricted buy-in, $3,000 minimum game. We've got some action players on the table, Jason Katsutani, we got Jonas at the table. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really should be.
I know you look forward to this all week long.
I do. I really do.
You do?
I do.
And your wife actually kind of surprisingly popped in at the end of last night's show while you were interviewing Scott Huff.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
She did, and then she played in the 3-to-5 game afterwards.
Great. Well, let's head over to the table.
Let's do it.
Get this thing started.
Seat number 1, we've got an old face of Live the Bike, and he's bought in for a lot of money. We've got Avo. And Avo's one of those players, he's pretty tight, he's pretty solid, he's a good poker player. Mixes it up once in a while. And he's one of those because he really can adjust to the table he's playing in. And it'll be interesting to see him adjust to Jonas and Jason Katsutani. Seat number 2, we've got Barbecue John, straight out of Louisiana. And he owns a couple of kind of barbecue restaurants down there. And he promised us sauce, but he didn't bring it today, so he said maybe in a couple of weeks. Seat number 3, we've got Jason Katsutani. Like to call him Jay, like to call him KK.
Yep.
Real action player, he likes to gamble. Real good poker player, has good instincts. Had a really bad go of it last Friday night.
Yes,
Let's see if he can turn that around. Seat number 4 is going to be Alan. Seat number 5, we've got Hollywood Russ.
Yep.
And Hollywood looking Hollywood. And seat number 6, we got Barry Woods.
There he is, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, Barry, don't call me Greenstein Woods. Seat number 7, we've got Paul, our seasoned turkey. And he's really a seasoned pro. He's been around for a long time, playing poker for a long time. He's seen it all. Seat number 8 is going to be Mo, not here right now. And seat number 9, we've got Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas.
And Jonas always brings a nice flavor to the game.
I got to tell you, that first hand, we didn't get the cards up, but the flop was an interesting hand. The flop was actually, I think it was 9-deuce-9 with 2 spades. Jason Katsutani bet in there with Jack-7 of spades, a flush draw. And Hollywood Rush raised him with pocket 4s there in seat 5. Turn was a 6. Jason checked, Russ bet, and Jason folded. Again, kind of the new, more aggressive Hollywood Russ. So we're going to get into this hand here. First hand of the night. Button moves over here to Jonas in seat 9. Riverboat King on 2+2. Again, white chips are $100 chips. We're playing $25.50. Purples are 25s. Big chips are thousands. And looks like Jonas is open limped here on the button with Queen Jack offsuit. Here we're going to see this 4 ways here. We need to see Avo's cards in seat 1.
No, Jonas is in bad shape, but Jack comes off. Well, it's a king.
King 8-6 here with a couple of clubs. Barry Woods is not in the hand.
No.
And Katsutani's going to lead out here with King Jack.
Yeah, Avo's got kind of a weakish ace, ace 8.
Yeah.
He's got second pair with an ace kicker.
He's got the ace of clubs in his hand.
Yeah, the action is back to him. Let's see what he does with it. Now, it's interesting. He knows that Jason could be betting with nothing.
Right.
And he's going to call.
Yeah, he makes a check call for $250 here. So the pot is quickly about $800 here to the turn. Turns a 4, and Barbecue John would have made a set of 4s there on the turn.
Now, Barbecue John is the one player at this game I'm not going to give any action to whatsoever. He's a real tight, real solid player. But if he's got money in the pot, he usually has something. And
Jason bets again here. He's going to bet about $550 here into an $800 pot. So the pot's now $1350. Take a look at those chips there. Red and white chips are $100 chips. And Avo's still thinking about this with ace-8.
And this is the magic of a guy like Jason Katsutani. And we actually like to call him Jay. He actually wants to be called Jay. But the thing about Jay is nobody else would really get action with a hand like this. But Jay
Especially
gives
not
so
from
much.
Avo.
Yeah, he gives so much action that he gets this action.
And Avo releases the hand. And Jay there takes it down with the King Jack. River would have been the third king there.
Wow, and you know
Jay.
what? That third king might have actually...
Might have got Avo involved.
Yeah, exactly. If Avo calls that and then another king comes off, really tough to put Jason on a king. You might even put him on an 8 or a club draw, and you might think that your ace-8 is good.
As always, we'd like to keep this show interactive. You can email us at liveatthebike.com. You can also follow a live thread that's started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com. Spelled out. Click on forums. Tournament poker, World Poker Tour, etc.
Hope everybody enjoyed last night. Scott Huff, interview we had with him.
We actually got an email from Joe Seabach around 1 a.m. I think he thought the show was live at that time. Looks like Barry Woods has limped in here with pocket fours. I think we're going to see this three-way action here between the blinds and Barry.
Well, Barry's in great shape. I mean, rarely are you in great shape with pocket fours, but he's only got one overcard to his pair, and they share it.
Gets checked over to Barry. He checks. Turns a 6. And it's getting checked around here again. And the river now is a 3. And now Barbecue John's got a pair of 3s. And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 150 here.
Wow. And normally there's no value to betting this pair of 3s. Is there at all? I mean, you'd think there's no way you can get a better hand off it.
But he does. Because
Yeah,
Barry Woods
he gets
pocket
fours. Wow.
And, you know, we were giving a hard time to Barry Woods from Friday night about him calling Dr. Beebe's little bet there, kind of a little inconsequential hand towards the end of the night on Friday. But we're saying, man, how do you give action, any action to a guy like that? And the same thing goes probably for Barbecue John.
Yeah, and I actually told Barry, I was talking to him because he was a little down. I think he was down about 10,000 in the 10-20 game before he jumped in this game.
Today?
And I was settling him down. I was telling him, you know, listen, it's only play one hand at a time. You can't do anything about the last hour. Play the game. And then he was asking about some of the players, and I told him, if Barbecue John is ever in the pot, he needs to throw the hand away.
Right. Jay Katsutani there has got ace-king in the small blind. And Avo's going to raise to 150 here in seat 1. We need to see his cards. He's got a jack-10 offsuit, and Jay calls him, smooth calls with ace-king offsuit. Yep. So here we go to the flop. About a $350 pot. Well, Jay's flop top 2 here.
Yeah.
See how he's going to play it. He's going to come out and lead. Maybe he hopes that Avo has an ace.
I don't mind the bet at all. I mean, you're hoping that Avo's actually raised you with, say, ace-jack, ace-10, something like that in late position. It's also there's 2 clubs out there. If Avo has, say, jack-10, you don't want to let a free card come off because Avo's smart enough to take that free card.
And Avo folds, and Jay turns over ace-king there for the win. Jay with that token fan, usually, you know, brings that fan around to the table.
Yeah.
Much like another guy on the tournament circuit, Robert Roeder.
Although I got to tell you, though, Robert Roeder is a tool. And Jay is actually a cool guy. Jay's really a cool guy.
A tool, huh?
I think Robert Roeder is a tool.
We can quote both of us on that.
I have no problem with that. Bring it on. I could care less.
Yeah.
You know what?
Button's going to move over here to Jay.
I'm going to have a bunch of people coming after me. Robert Roeder, Evelyn Ng.
Seat 4 here is going to be Alex. We've seen him on the show before when he gets around. You know, it's funny. We were thinking that it was a different lineup than what we thought it was going to be last night. We thought we were going to have Farhad and Don, don't call me, overcall with ace-6 in the game.
Yeah. And Don said he was going to show up, but he did not show up, and he's not here yet, so Mo had to sell his seat off.
Jay is raised here with Jack, deuce of diamonds on the button. And we're not going to see a flop. He takes it down.
So who's in seat 4?
Alex.
Alex, okay. You know, Alex is a pretty good player.
Yeah, he is.
He's like a lot of those young Asian guys, though, that I see around the casino. I got to tell you, he plays really good 95% of the time, and then the other 5% of the time he's prone to really steaming. And we've seen him steam. I have, at least. It'll be interesting to see how he plays. He's in a pretty good spot being to Jason's left.
Jonas is going to limp in here under the gun with queen 8 of spades. Avo's got a deuce 3 of clubs, and he's going to raise. Avo's going to mix it up a little bit. He's going to raise to 150 here. Deuce 3 of clubs. Barry Woods has got a little suited connector. He does not call in the small blind with 4 or 5 suited. And Jonas calls. So this is interesting to see if Avo can use his position if both players miss. ace 5-3 here. Well, Jonas is totally
Wow.
missed.
What a flop for Barry.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing flop.
4-5 of hearts Barry had.
Avo bets and Jonas folds. Yeah, 4-5
Yeah.
of hearts there. Gut shot, flush draw, pair.
That was a monster.
Yeah, gut shot, straight flush draw.
Now, I got to tell you, Barry's going to be... I love Barry. I love his game. He's got to be careful in a game like this because we've got some pretty good players in this game. We've got Paul to his left, who's obviously, he's been around forever. He's a seasoned pro. We've got Jonas, who obviously is a really good player. You've got Avo in there. You've got Jason in there. And seat number 2 is not going to give you any action. So you got to kind of look at the lineup and go, okay, well, who's the fish in this game? Where am I going to get my money at? You know, and obviously we all know the famous saying from Matt Damon and Rounders, you know, if you can't find the fish in 30 minutes, it's probably you.
You're probably it. Jay limps in here with Queen Jack suited, 1 off the cutoff, and we're going to see this one limped around here between Jay and the blinds, Jonas and Paul. Here we go to the flop. King 6 deuce here. Well, no one really has anything here. Checked around. Turns an ace. It gives Jay a royal flush draw. Straight draw, spade draw, nut spade draw. And he's going to bet 150 here on the ace, and he's going to take it down. And word is Mo is coming over.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I've ever seen Alex play in a game this big. Alex is buying in for 5,000.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how he plays. I've seen him play in the 10-20 game, but he normally plays in the 5-10 game. This is a big step up.
Yeah.
Be interesting. And I got to tell you, I mean, if you were going to take a jump up into a game, is this necessarily the 25-50 lineup that you would jump into?
Well, I guess it depends on what type of lineup you're looking for.
I guess so.
Style of the game.
I mean, it was funny. We were looking at the possible lineup we were going to have tonight. You know, with players like Farhad, players like Don S.
Yeah.
I was kind of licking my chops because I wanted to play the game. But now I look at this lineup, and I got to tell you, there's not really any dead money in that on the table. I mean, there's not a weak player at the table, is there? I mean, Hollywood Russ used to be weaker 2-3 months ago, but he's really stepped up his game to the point where he's getting pretty good now. Really?
Yeah.
Good.
You know, we don't have an Allen in the game.
I mean, you don't have an Allen, you don't have a Don S, you don't have a Farhad.
Yeah. You know, you wonder
There's
how
no
long,
Dimitri.
You wonder how long Paul is going to stick around for. Because remember, Paul left after a couple hands last week because he didn't like the lineup.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if Paul got up and left this lineup. I mean, one of the weaker players in the lineup, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's got to be Barbecue John, and I hope he doesn't take it personal, but I'm just thinking in terms of he plays it so tight that I wonder if he can beat a lineup like this.
Now look at Hollywood Russ. He's going to bring it in for a little raise to 150 with ace deuce of hearts. Barry Woods calls with a jack 10 of hearts, and Jonas is in there with queen jack offsuit on the button. So we're going to see a $500 pot going 3 ways. Russ, the pre-flop raiser. Wow, what a flop for Russ. Nothing like raising with ace deuce and hitting it, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
And
unfortunately for him, nobody's got anything.
And again, you know, he's good enough where he knows he's going to lead. Maybe get Jonas to make a move on him. Russ bets here.
Well, Russ is representing, say, pocket 9s, pocket 8s.
Right.
And you wonder if Jonas is going to try to represent a deuce. Jonas has done that before.
Is he going to get mixed up here? And this is very ill-timed because Russ has hit trips right away on the flop. And, boy, Jonas is reaching for chips. And he makes the smooth call, and you know he's got to be setting up a play
Of
here.
course, he's smooth calling to set up a play to represent here.
Turns is 7.
And would you ever check it to
I got to
Russ?
tell you, I might check this to Jonas.
That's what I mean.
I'm never a proponent of slow playing, but...
Would you ever check this and play it like you missed with ace-king and now you're scared?
Russ is going to bet again here.
Yeah, pretend you have ace-king here.
He's going to bet 450. He's betting real weak. He's betting about 40% of the pot. And that's another way you might bet weak and try to get maybe Jonas to come over the top of you here.
Well, that's one of the things with betting your hands in a table like this. Now, I got to tell you, I agree with you, though. I probably bet the flop. When I get called by Jonas, I'm going to shut down and act like I have ace-king and let him bet it.
And let's see what Jonas is going to do. You would think he's probably going to make a move on this street if he's going to make a move. And there it is. He makes the move here.
And you know what? I got to hand it to Russ. He's made more money than I would have. I probably would have checked it. Jonas probably would have bet it.
He's going to make it $900 more, which means the pot is now $3,000. $900 for Hollywood Russ to call. And what do you put Jonas on here? If it's a total bluff, again, what can you do? You're out of position. Can you call and lead into the river like we saw Jonas do before a couple weeks back?
Well, is there any value to raising this? I mean, think about it. If Jonas has a pocket 6s here, you're beat. If he has pocket 7s, you're beat. If he has anything else and you raise, he's going to lay it down. Is there any value to raising?
And look at this. Russ is going to come over the top 2,000. Back over the top here.
Yeah, and this is a spot where you're wondering if you're Russ there, there's really no value to raising this. Jonas has either probably got a full house, an overpay, or absolutely nothing.
He has come back over the top for 2,000. The pot is now 5,000. 2,000 for Jonas to call. One of the other things that Jonas, might raise there, I guess on the turn, you might think maybe 6-7, but again, he loses to any overpair.
Yeah,
of the lower
I mean,
board.
Jonas isn't stupid. He's not going to raise 6-7. If anything, he's going to do a crying call with 6-7. The only question is there any way, now it was a raised pot, is there any way Jonas could have smooth called with, say, aces, kings, or queens? And if Jonas has one of those hands, there's no way you're putting Russ on a deuce here.
Oh, look at this, and Jonas moves all in. He's going to move all in, and I mean, at this point, I guess you got to sit back and hope, oh man, Russ makes the call, and he's like, boy, I hope you don't have a set of 6s or 7s, and Jonas has been drawing dead since the turn.
Yeah.
The river is actually a horrible card for Russ. It's a 6, but Jonas had nothing. I'm amazed Russ came back over the top, and that pot, Jonas is all in for, I think, 4,000 more. That pot's going to be about $13,000 right there. That is unbelievable.
I don't...
Wow. Boy, yeah, you almost get the hint there when Russ comes back over the top that he's not really that scared.
Well, the question is, this is the problem. Now, if you put Russ on, and I'm assuming Jonas probably put Russ on, say, 9s or 10s, right?
Yeah.
And Jonas is trying to represent either a bigger pocket pair or a deuce, right? The problem is those Russes re-raised you 2,000 more. Now, Jonas only bought in for 6,500. So what are you going to re-raise him? Another 2,000? Another 2,500 maybe? I mean, what was it additional after the $2,000 raise? Remember, he raised him 900.
Very little fold equity, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I don't understand. You can't really get Russ to lay it down. I love Jonas's game, but I just think, I see him setting up the play on a turn, which is fine. But when you get the answer from Russ, you've got to realize that, okay, next time, save your money.
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising from Jonas. Jay's going to raise it out of the blind here with 9-10 offsuit. He's going to make it, looks like another 175 to go. Jonas is buying in here for, we'll get word of that in a second. Jonas calls with 175 here. I think Jonas is probably going to buy in for 5,000. So we're heads up here. Jonas has Jay dominated in position here with Jack 10. Ace 4, 6 here with a couple spades. Both players have missed. Let's see if Jay continues with the aggression. He's going to bet 400. And Jonas folds. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know what Jonas was thinking on that hand. The more and more I think about it, Dave.
I got to tell you.
There's no fold. There's no fold equity for an overpair.
When you talk about it, there's ever a spot where Jonas, if there's one leak in Jonas's game, we talk about it because Jonas is a heck of a player. It's the fact that he tries to win too many hands. He tries to win every hand he's in.
Right.
And he's got to realize that, you got to pick your battles. You don't have to win every hand you're playing and hold them. I got to tell you, usually you and I are kissing Jonas's ass because he really is a good player, and I usually like what he does. But
we're kind of lost on that hand.
That was awful.
Yeah.
That was really bad. I think when he watches it, when he sees that, I think he's going to agree. He's going to look at it and go, what the heck was I doing on the turn there? The original raise, smooth calling, trying to set up a play, fine. The raise, fine. But then the re-raise all in, there just wasn't any fold equity there.
No.
You got to realize the pot is almost 12,000, like 2,500 to call.
Four-way action here, limped around. King 8-5 with a couple of hearts. Looks like it's missed everyone. Jay looks like he's got the best hand here with middle pair. Gets checked around, turns into ace. And no one has an ace. Jay continues to have the best hand here with a pair of eights. Gets checked around once again. And the river's another king. And maybe Jay might be content to check call here on the river if anyone throws a bet out. Then he's going to take it down there with a pair of eights as it gets checked around once again. And Hollywood Russ has really been on a tear of late in this game.
Yeah, he has been. Well, you know what? He's really stepped up his game. He was always relatively tight. He didn't really steam much. He knew how to get away from hands. And now he's just stepped up the aggression level just a little bit, and that's really, really added to his game. I got to tell you.
Email here from Michael saying, where's Corporation Mike been? Corporation Mike is actually here, but he doesn't want to play in the game because he wants to watch the Lakers game.
Yeah, he said he might play in a smaller game, but he's so, he's watching the... He's so interested in the Lakers game, he doesn't want to kind of lose his focus.
Right.
And I understand, obviously. It's actually his birthday yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played with him last night. Pocket queens.
Yeah,
here.
pocket queens here for the turkey on the table.
I gotta say I'm hungry. Don't you want to like just slice up a little piece of his shoulder or something? Cook it up.
Paul is going to make it 175 to go. Jonas calls with an 8-9 offsuit. Jay's going to come in on the button with pocket deuces. And Alex has got an ace, queen of diamonds. He makes the call.
Once Jonas calls, Jay can call this.
Well, here we go. Almost an $800 pot going four ways. Paul, the pre-flop raiser with queens. Well, raggy board here, 9-7-4 with
Is Jonas going to get in trouble?
Jonas has got top pair, but, I mean, you got to know when Paul fires out at you, that's not the flop that you look for. Paul, I got to tell you, he would rarely fire there, I think, with ace-king.
Yeah, and Jonas throws it away.
Yeah, he would rarely fire into three other players with ace-king there. I think he plays it a little more conservative than that.
Definitely.
And most players would rarely fire in there with ace-king. Maybe ace-king of clubs.
Paul doesn't make many moves. He might make one or two moves a night, and it's usually a really well-timed move. And it usually works because he doesn't do that many. Button moves over to seat number 4. That's Alex. Small blind is $25. That's Hollywood Russ. Big blind is Barry, and Paul is going to be under the gun.
And as we've often explained, we call Paul the turkey of the table as a compliment.
Right. Well, it started getting to, I was calling him a seasoned pro.
Right.
And then you got to, well, he's like a well-seasoned
I didn't want to
chicken.
call him a chicken because I think that obviously means something different.
Turkey. That's much better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like that.
Jason Katsutani's going to bring this one in for a raise. King 9, he makes it 150 to go. Now, Alex is going to call with 9-10 of hearts.
Yeah, and the funny thing is Jason raises there, and the reason he's raising that is to buy himself the button. And when he gets called by Alex, he's got to hate it.
Queen 10 here. Well, Alex actually has the best hand. And it's actually going to get checked around. Alex does not bet here.
Wow.
And now the turn's a king, and now Jay's hit top pair.
How do you not bet that if you're Alex?
Jay's going to come out and bet 300, and Alex is going to get away from it.
No, I don't want to start guessing here, but you said Alex doesn't normally play this high. And you wonder, is he comfortable playing at this level? Obviously, we'll see over the next hour or so.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when people make a step up to this level, they say, you know what, I might actually take a little bit of the edge away that I have in a smaller game because I'm moving up and just play it real conservatively.
The problem is, though, is if you take away that little bit of an edge and you play against good players, well, that little bit of an edge that makes you a winner in the small game can make you a loser in the big game.
Well said.
Thank you.
Russ
That's why I do this for a living.
Russ is going to have the button here in seat 5. Gary Woods is in the small blind. Paul's in the big blind in seat 7.
Kind of funny last night. I'm sitting here and I'm interviewing Scott Huff, and you're sitting in the booth watching. My wife comes in and watches, and she's sitting here just going, oh, Lord, does he ever shut up? Talking about me, of course.
Jay has got ace-king. He's going to bring it in for 175. Now, Avo made a limp here. He has an ace. I can't see what the other card is.
Wow, and he calls this with an ace. I don't know, like you said, I don't know what the other card is
Ace
either.
of clubs something.
Ace. Spread him.
King Jack 8 here. Well, we know that Jay has hit top pair.
Yeah, I got to tell you, no matter what he has, ace 5 of clubs.
Yeah. Jay bets 300 here, and he's going to take it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, ace 5 of clubs, you call heads up there? I mean, the problem is it is Jay, and you never know what Jay has, but you're calling out of position. Even if you hit an ace, you don't know where you're at.
Well, I mean, even if you're against Jay, even if you're not against an action player, the same rule applies with ace rag. Going to win a small pot or lose a big one.
Yeah.
You wonder how long, because it's Jay, would Avo stick around if he flopped a dry ace there.
Well, that's the problem with it. Yeah. Out of position, I'm just not sure you want to get involved with that hand.
Button's going to move over here to seat 6, Barry Woods, and he's getting his token massage. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Check out our MySpace page, myspace.com/liveatthebike.
Mo's got an interesting hand in the big blind here. He's got Jack 9 suited.
Well, Barry Woods has got an ace-king offsuit on the button.
On the button,
Sure,
it's
he's
a clear
gonna
raise.
He's going to make it 175, and I think Mo is going to call here. He does.
Now that raise is a little bit small, and the only reason it's a little small, I think Barry normally makes it 175, but he's got to realize that 2 players already entered the pot.
And look at this. Now, Alex has the same hand as Mo, and Russ is in there with a suited connector.
Hey, why not?
King 6 Jack. Well, Barry's hit the ace-king.
2 diamonds out there, and nobody's got them.
Now look at this, though. You know what? Alex is going to lead in here with middle pair. He's going to see where he's at. He's going to bet 300. Again, into a pot that is about 600, about a half bet, pot-sized bet here.
I think it's an easy raise here for Barry. one of the reasons I love betting in with your hands here. Now, if Alex also bets a set of sixes here, you get the raise from Barry as well. And Barry takes it down.
Alex releases the hand there.
Yeah.
But it's going to move over here to seat 7 to Paul. Barry Woods, good old Barry Woods.
Yeah, I mean, I got to play. Barry, yeah.
What can you say? What can you say?
Yeah.
What more can you say about the guy?
I gotta tell you, this is not. It's funny. Last Friday, we were almost laughing at how awful the lineup was. You know, how good that game was, how much you loved to play in that game. I gotta tell you, this is not a game I would rush into. I mean, if I was taking a step up to play in a 25-50 game,
you wouldn't pick this game to play.
No, I wouldn't at all. I don't see a fish in the game.
Now,
I don't see a bad player in the entire game.
Jonas has got an ace-king suited here in the big blind.
You know, and like I said, I mean, Barbecue John doesn't scare me because I know when he's in the pot, but I'm not going to make any money off him either, though.
And Mo completes here with ace-3, and Jonas is going to raise. Oh, boy, and Mo calls. So if an ace comes here, you wonder how involved Mo is going to get. Because Mo was going to chop, but Jonas said, no, I don't chop. Oh, deuce 10-4 here. Mo's got a gut shot wheel draw.
How about a 5?
Check on the flop. Turns a queen.
Oh, Jonas is still the best hand here.
Check here again. And the river's a queen.
Jonas is going to take this down.
Yeah, ace-king high is going to win here. Jonas never put any money there in that pot.
No.
You know, it's funny, as Jonas was moving up in ranks, he really, built up quite a little bankroll. When we first started spreading this game, way back when, almost a year and a half ago in the 5-10 game, Jonas and Mo have a lot of experience against each other.
They do.
Yeah.
And you know what? One of the reasons I think Jonas did not bet that hand there ever is never really wanted to never gave Mo a chance to bluff at him.
Yeah.
Never really gave him a chance to check raise him big. Sometimes by checking behind your opponent, you kind of paralyze them.
And Jonas just says, I like putting all my chips in when I'm drawing dead on the turn. And that's what he did against Russ. And Russ is going to bring this in for a raise here out of seat 5. He's going to make it 175, which seems to be the standard raise. Ace-king here again. Boy, we've had ace-king here like 5 or 6 hands.
And it's funny, Russ doubled up. One of the reasons Russ was able to double up there was Russ raised with a hand that he normally wouldn't raise with.
He might not even play that hand from up front a lot.
Well, that's the thing. Now, if Jason Katsutani raised, and it comes out, say, 4-4 jack, Jason might have a 4.
Right.
And we all know that.
Right.
But if the flop comes out 4-4 jack, and Russ raises, normally we'd say, okay, maybe Russ is an overpair, maybe Russ is a jack, but you certainly don't put him on a 4.
Well, and the other thing, too, for Jonas is that, you either put Russ on an overpair that you're going to try to get him off of, but remember, the card that accompanied the deuces on the flop was a 6. And that's a hand that, you don't think Russ is going to raise with 6s either. So you never are really scared of top full, which you might be scared of if you were involved and you actually had a deuce in position and the flop came king deuce deuce, something like that.
I mean, obviously it's impossible for us to get inside any of these guys' heads, but I have to imagine that Jonas was putting this guy on a pocket pair, something like 8s, 9s, 10s, maybe even jacks, somewhere in that range, and he thought he could get him off it.
Again, though, I just didn't see the fold equity even with an overpair.
Yeah, well, once you make it 900 more on the turn, and then Russ calls the 900 and makes it 2,000 more, I think that's the first clue.
Avo is heads up against Alex here. Well, Alex has got a straight draw. He picks up a spade
Avo's got
draw.
2 pair, though, top and bottom.
Yeah, and Avo's going to bet 200, and Alex has a spade draw and a straight draw, and Alex calls.
Yeah, he needs a 6 or a spade.
And the river is a deuce.
Well, now he's open-ended.
You wonder how much money Avo might have lost if the 6 came, and Avo's going to bet here again.
Avo's usually pretty good about getting away from a hand. One of Avo's strengths, I really think, is recognizing who he plays against. He plays it completely different against me, you, Alex, Jonas.
Yeah. Here we go with the first chip count of the night. Look at Hollywood Russ, 17,000. We've got almost 60,000 on the table.
That's a lot for the beginning of the show.
Let's take a look at the differences here. Russ up 10,000, Jonas down 7,000.
Damn, already? Man, that's unbelievable. Everybody else is even.
Ace-king here for Barry Woods. And he's going to raise. He's raising somewhat of a small amount, 153 times the big blind.
Well, especially since one person's already limped in.
Yeah. Jonas calls with ace-10. Alex has got king-queen suited. And look at this. So does Jay. 3 of the kings are dead here. And two of the aces are out.
Well, how about nines?
9, 4, 9. King,
Nobody's
queen,
got a 9 or a 4, huh?
2 king-queens, an ace-king, and an ace-10.
Now, Barry usually follows through, and he's going to again, and he puts out a nice size, what, 350?
Well, he's going to bet 275 into a pot that is about 600.
Yeah.
But that's probably going to get it done.
Yeah, that's enough. Nice bet by Barry. His aggressive play post-flop has always been his strength. The only thing I will say is, like you said, he's raising an odd amount. And normally, let's say your normal raise amount is 175 or 150. If one guy limps in, I usually add that to it. So let's say my normal bet is 150. Now somebody's limped in, I'll make it 200. Let's say 2 people limp in, I'll make it 250. And so forth and so on. If I get 5 limpers, I might raise it 400.
Button moves over here to Barbecue John in seat 2.
Obviously, I was going to say, for every limper, obviously the pot is bigger, therefore your raise should be bigger.
How about an under-over for the amount of hands that he plays tonight? Jonas is going to raise here to 200. He's got king-queen offsuit, and he's going to take it down.
More important, though, even if he plays a hands, how many times is he actually going to voluntarily put money in the pot?
Now, he said he was going to bring us some barbecue sauce from his restaurant, did he?
He forgot.
What?
Now, he said, the funny thing is he forgot, so I immediately started taking his chips off the table. I was going to sell a seat to somebody else. But he assured me that he's coming back in 3 weeks, and he's going to bring back some bottles.
Button moves over here to Jay. You know, is New Orleans pretty much
like... King again for Russ this time.
Is New Orleans pretty much back into, like, normal...
I don't know if it's normal. I mean, the population is cut in half still.
Right. Barbecue John is going to limp in the cutoff with 7s. Alex completes. Yeah. Let's see if Russ is going to raise here with the ace-king.
And that population might not return for 15 years. I mean, that's going to...
Now, Russ checks the ace-king. He checked it.
Blind?
Yeah. Check. Jack 9-3 here with a couple of hearts. And gets checked over to Barbecue John. He's going to bet 150 here with 7s.
Wow.
I mean, again, you know, I'm not necessarily... And look at that.
Hey.
I mean, Barbecue John... He's not that deep. I mean, if you make a nice little raise, I don't even think Barbecue John's going to stay in there with 7s. I don't think he's deep enough.
No, but, I mean, Barbecue John actually limped in. Did he limp in or raise?
He limped in.
He did. See, yeah, if Russ raises there, he probably takes it away.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad way to play it out of position. The only thing is, you figure it's only you, Alex, and Barbecue John. If you raise with the ace-king, you probably get rid of Barbecue John, and now you're in position against the other player, who might not call anyway.
Jonas is raised here with king-queen suited. He made it 200 to go. Let's see if Russ is going to get involved here with ace-queen offsuit in the small blind. I've seen Russ fold this out in the field, but he's going to make the call.
Now, against Jonas, he might. He does.
And, you know...
How about a queen comes out here?
Yeah, what I got to tell you, Jonas has got the power position here going in his favor. Yeah, 9-3-4. This is probably going to go check-fold. $300 continuation bet here by Jonas. Whoa, look at this. Russ check calls here, Dave.
Wow. He's in great shape. He doesn't know it, though.
And the turn is an ace.
And Russ has got a queen of spades.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonas is almost drawing dead. Jonas needs a king, only a king, and it can't be a spade. Jonas has 2 outs.
And Jonas bets 500
actually, I'm sorry.
here.
Jonas has no outs. He's
Jonas
drawing
is drawing dead again on the turn. He bets 500, and let's see how Russ is going to play it. Jesus. He's going to raise.
For whatever reason, I thought it was a queen out there.
And
Jonas
immediately folds. I mean, I guess Jonas is using that ace, obviously, as a scare card. If Russ had said, you know, maybe called with like 8-9, check call with top pair.
Right.
It was the 3rd spade, and Russ there made the check raise with top pair in the 2nd nut flush draw.
I misread that real quick. I mean, once again, our show is live, unedited, unscripted. Even I screw up once in a while.
Yeah, where's that bag I used to put over your head?
I know.
Got a microphone that I can cut off. Yeah, by the way, I forgot my glasses at home, so.
That's it?
Yeah.
You're not trying to look cool? I thought that's what it was.
Email here from Mario Baltiski. Said, hey guys, just wondering what happened with the side bet last week when Jonas was trying to guess Jay's hand. Well, he won it again with Kenny Wynn and who was the other guy that was in that?
It was actually Adam.
Adam, yeah.
They both paid him $500.
4-way action here, limped around. 2 people have pocket 4s.
No 4 comes in the flop, surprisingly.
Everybody misses. The 2 people with 4s are in the lead here. Gets checked around, turns a 6.
I got to tell you, if you got 4s here, I bet.
See, Barry leads out here.
And he's going to, and I like the bet.
He's going to bet 125 here.
Into what, about a $200 pot?
Yeah.
He takes it down. Nice
There you
bet.
go. See those purple chips are $25 chips. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 and 10 Pacific time. Any word on tomorrow's game, Dave? I know some of the Live the Bike viewers who normally play
I'm
the 200
pretty sure it's
game.
pot limit hold'em. I'll have to confirm it with Mo, but I'm pretty sure it is pot limit hold'em tomorrow night.
Putt moves here to seat 6, Barry Woods. Yes,
And it is pot
there's
limit hold'em. There you go.
confirmation.
Look at that. It's like Mo heard me. Amazing.
Now, I want to say something to cover our asses. I apologize already if for some reason we don't get the pot limit game down and we do a 200 game and people like Jay Siegel are not here because they would have come here for the game.
I mean, if Mo was already saying it's going to happen,
Yeah,
we're
no,
going to
I
have it.
know.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. But you know how some
Has,
people are.
has Mo ever actually said we're going to have a game and not delivered?
Look at this. Barry is raised with ace-7 and Jonas is called with a king-10. And we're heads up. Oh, Barry's open-ended here. Jonas
Barry's in
checks.
great shape. He's open-ended. He's got the best hand. Jonas needs a king or a 10 only.
Barry bets 300. Jonas is done with it. Good old Barry Woods.
I'll tell you, the last few weeks, Jonas has kind of fallen into a trap that I myself find myself in once in a while, where I end up losing my first buy-in. You were watching me too,
Right.
where it seemed like I almost always lose my first buy-in, and then I claw my way back and have a nice win. And it seems like Jonas the last month. I mean, hasn't he started almost every show down 8,000, down 7,000 before clawing his way back?
Alex is going to limp in here, 9-10 off suit.
Barry will probably limp in here with 5-3. No,
Russ-
he doesn't. Wow.
Russ is going to raise here to 250. He's got deuce-4 spades here, Dave. He's really opening his game up. Deuce-4 spades. Wow. Avo's got a suited ace, ace-4 of hearts. Is he going to make the call against Russ? Yes. And now that brings Alex in from behind. So we get about an $800 pot here going three ways.
But Russ bought himself a button. If these players miss, well, they didn't miss.
Well, Alex has got trip 9s. Let's see how Alex is going to play it. Will he bet right into the trips? Nope. Now, I was going to say, if everybody missed, does Russ have the balls to bet? Well, he's going to check it.
Well, we've seen him fire it, but for whatever reason he didn't this time. Maybe he's got some sort of
Turns a 7.
sixth sense telling him not to bet.
And Alex is going to bet 400 here.
And Alex cannot lose the pot unless he folds. And hey, you know what? Normally you'd see somebody fire on that kind of flop, being the pre-flop raiser, but I guess he kind of played it like he had ace-queen or ace-king, and he just said, you know what, I'm not going to bet it.
Button's going to move over here to, looks like it's Jonas's hand, seat 9 against Riverboat King on 2+2. And Jonas has picked up a king-jack offsuit on the button here.
I want to thank everybody who sent in questions for Scott Huff last night. Hope you enjoyed that. Really helped us out. If you have any questions for us, criticism, whatever you want to say, give us an email at live@thebike.com.
Jonas raises here to 200 with king-jack. Avo's going to call with pocket 4s. And Alex had made an early position limp here with king-queen offsuit, sometimes a trouble hand. He makes the call.
Yeah.
Four-way action here, $600 pot. Wow,
Nope.
set of 4s here for Avo. Let's see how he's going to play it.
And it's such a magical flop. Normally in a raised pot, if you have a set and there's an ace out there, you're loving it. But in this case, the ace actually is going to kill his action.
Jonas bets 300 here. See how Avo's going to do here. He's going to check call. And again, we always usually are proponents of leading out, but I got to tell you, with Jonas, who might raise with anything on the button, you know he's going to bet with an ace out there. Avo has decided to check call here. Turns a deuce, and it goes check, check. And the river now is an 8. And Avo checks it again. He was trying to really play Jonas there the whole hand.
Yeah, he was.
You know, I think that maybe also part of the reason for checking the river is if Jonas had a high ace, maybe Jonas bets the river for value. Maybe he checked the turn, maybe concerned with maybe pot slides, but maybe if he figures his kicker's going to play on the river, he's going to bet for value, and then maybe Avo can put some more money in the
Yeah, I
pot.
mean, you wonder if Avo correctly figured out that Jonas had absolutely nothing.
Right.
And if he put any money in the pot at all, Jonas was going to lay it down. But sometimes the best way to get somebody like Jonas to bluff at him is to actually put a bet in there, and we saw it earlier with Russ.
Look at this. Russ has got pocket queens. And he's going to make it 175 to go.
I thought it's a new crazy Russ we're seeing. He raises with deuce 4, and he raises with queens.
And we're not going to see a flop.
I'm going to tell you, it still drives me crazy about Mike's game. I was playing with him last night, and sure enough, Mike's limps in with ace-king, limps in with jacks, limps in with kings, and then he raises with 4-6. And you just wonder, you go, man, you don't get it, do you?
Well, that's part of the hard time that we give him.
Yeah.
And I do like Mike's game, I got to tell you, because I was playing with Adam today.
Oh, he was here?
Yeah, well, I was playing with him in the 5-10 game. You know, Adam is fun to watch and such. And he actually bluffed me off a pot on the river. But I got to tell you, regardless of the fact that he bluffed me off the pot, I mean, him and Mike are, I mean, it's like night and day. I mean, Mike is so many steps ahead of where Adam is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Adam has been a little bit lucky. He does know how to play.
A little bit lucky?
He does know how to play somewhat post-flop, and he is very aggressive. But still, at the same time.
You mince words. I'm going to come out and say it. I think Adam sucks.
Really?
I don't think he's a good player at all, okay?
Ah.
He's a nice guy. I like him. I'm friends with him. I don't think he's a good poker player. He might one day be a good poker player.
Checked around here on the flop.
The deck hit him in the face, though. He happened to get really lucky 3 days in a row, I think.
And Jay is going to bet here with a pair of threes on the button. He probably doesn't think his hand is going to be good here. He bets 400.
I mean, you really think the guy's good?
I never said he was good.
Okay.
And he does get Alex to lay down a pair of sevens, so the bet is going to work here, and Jay is going to take it down. I mean, just the most elemental things, most basic fundamentalist type fundamentals of poker. Like, he is in there with hands that you never should be in there with. I mean that's the most basic, like a deuce 8 suited. King, deuce 9 on the flop, 2 diamonds, a bet, a call, and he overcalls with deuce 8. Stuff like that you would never see a good laggy player do.
Yeah, he also makes plays just to make plays. He makes plays to see if he can do it.
Right.
He makes moves to, hey, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can bluff out Bart.
Right.
Okay? Doesn't take away the fact that he's a nice guy. He has the basis to be a good player one day. But right now, I think you and I and most players would welcome in their game.
Three-way action here, limped around. Queen deuce 7 here. Checked around here on the flop. Turn is an 8. 9-10 is now open-ended. And look at this. Russ is going to come out and bet 150 on the gut shot here. Is Alex going to get involved? He makes the call. So this is probably going to go bluff versus bluff. Misses both players. Let's see if somebody can fire here. Russ is going to bet again.
Well, he has to. Doesn't he? He missed.
He's going to bet 250. And there you go. He takes it down.
And Russ fires twice. The old Russ would fire once there and then go, forget it. I can't take this away. And he correctly figured out there are a lot of draws out there that maybe his opponent had and missed when the 7 came out. I mean, I hate to be harsh and say that about Adam, but hey, we try to keep it real, I'm not going to mince words. Maybe suck is too hard a word. Maybe he doesn't suck.
Button moves over here to Russ. He's going to limp in on the button. 6-8 of spades. Well, that's a hand sometimes I like to raise over there on the button. Three-way action here. Take control of the pot.
Yeah, I agree.
And look at this. He would have flopped an open-ended straight draw with a nice scare card, so it sets up perfectly on this hand.
Yeah.
And Mo is going to come out and bet here, see where he's at with 4s, and Russ is going to call.
And that's a dangerous call there because you look at it now. Mo's got to look at it and go, man, I can't beat anything.
And look at this. The turns of 4. Mo makes a set, and Russ made the straight, and he has a flush draw.
Oh, man, and that is his gin card.
Mo bets 300, and I assume that Russ is probably going to put a little bit of a raise in here.
Oh, I think you have to here, without a doubt. Definitely time to raise this up, and Mo might come back over the top here, and this is Russ's night.
Well, Mo's not stupid. 6-8 is a possible holding, obviously.
No, of course. I mean, you got to start thinking, what did this guy call me with? He called me with a king, a 7, or did he call me with 6-8?
Russ makes it 400 more, and Mo, he's going to push all in.
Yeah,
he's going to push all in, and Russ has the nuts right now.
Yeah, he's going to double check.
And the 5 of spades is no good for the board pairing here.
Right, exactly.
The 5 of spades is no good.
So Mo only has, say, what, 10 outs, I want to say? He can catch, no, I'm sorry, 9 outs now because the 5 of spades is no good.
They're going to run it 2 times here.
Oh,
look at this. Turns a 7. Mo wins the first one, and the river is a queen. So they're actually going to split the pot here.
Yeah, Russ makes a flush on the second one.
Yeah.
And Mo gets lucky to chop that one up. Man, talk about a card in the turn.
Again, if you want to talk about what running the river is multiple times, you can head over to liveatthebike.com. Look at As Seen on Live at the Bike, give you an explanation as to why we run the cards multiple times in high-level, no-limit cash games.
I mean, I want to throw this at you, okay? Get back to Adam, and then I'll leave it alone, okay? Because maybe suck is too hard a word. But if you were to put Adam in this game, in this lineup, is there a player in the game that you think Adam is better than?
I'm sorry, I was listening to Jonas say that Bart had an orgasm on the floor.
I mean, is there a person in this game that you think that Adam is better than?
No, clearly not. Not even close.
So
yeah, he would by far be the weakest player in the game. And again, we do have some loose, aggressive players, Jason and Jonas, but they're good players. 5-way action here, limped around. Jack 10-4 here. And Russ and Barbecue John both have the same hand. Now, this is going to be interesting. Barbecue John is going to lead out with King Jack. If you were Russ here, would you just not get involved?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Russ calls. So this is going to be an interesting one. The pot now is about $800. Turn is a 7.
You wonder if Barbecue John is going to stop firing it. And Barbecue John has actually fired more than I thought he would tonight.
He's going to check. And Russ is going to bet here.
Wow, and this really puts Barbecue John in a tough spot.
Russ bets 800 here.
And the only
Barbecue John folds.
Yeah, well, think about it. What can Barbecue John beat there? He can only beat Queen Jack, really.
Again, power of position there.
Yeah. I mean, if Russ had King Queen there, it's a nice play.
And again, you say, like, those times that Barbecue John, you might lay down the best hand when he's betting, so be it. But if there ever is a player where there isn't a whole lot of equity in getting involved, it's probably with him.
Hey, you're just not going to win a lot of money off him, I don't think. I mean, you can get him off hands, though, that's for sure. Now, we saw an email here from Augustin Navarro. He wanted to know, do we know a good no-limit cash book? And I always like to push people to the Super System 1, Doyle Brunson's book. You know another book that's good?
Well, you know, supposedly the 2+2 publishing company is going to come out with a book in a couple of months. So it'll be interesting to see. I got to tell you, you know, unlike Limit, where I think you can, you know, read a book and pick up, you know, a good grasp of the game, I think No Limit has a lot of experience.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Barry's open-ended.
Jonas has got King Jack here, and he checked it, and Barry's going to bet. And Jonas just check calls here with the King Jack.
Wow, okay.
Here we go to the turn. Turn's a queen.
If you're Barry, you take the free card here?
He did. Check, check. And the river's a king, and Jonas makes 2 pair here, and Jonas is going to bet.
And I like the way Barry played this hand. He put 1 bet in there, see if he could get it. Took the free card. Missed it and throw it away. Why not?
Interesting email, and I was just thinking about this from James Gelfler. He says, you guys talk about raises pre-flop in the 5 game. You said it should be about 30 standard. And tonight you were saying it was about 175, and it kind of seems smallish. And yeah, I tend to agree with you, because at 5-10 game, usually it's like 50 or 60, 5 to 6 times the big blind. So that would translate to 300 here. It is a little small that these guys are bringing in for.
Well, the only difference is, though, is normally in a 5-10 game, a lot of those players have, say, 200 times the big blind.
Several factors more of the big blind than in this game.
Now, in this game, a lot of these players only have, say, 70 or 80 times the big blind, which inherently can change the amount you're going to raise.
Mo is going to raise here on the button after Barry Wood's limped with pocket 8s, and he's going to take it down.
And he goes on to say, he says, in tournaments, 3.5 times the big blind is a standard raise. Do these standards change in cash games? And yes, they do. Generally, we like to advocate, we see it all the time. The blinds are kind of irrelevant when it comes to raising in no-limit cash games. Generally, it's the stack size that makes a difference. Now, if most players have, say, 300 or 400 times the big blind, well, then you're going to have to raise more. If players only have 40 times the big blind, you can raise less. Now, in most tournaments, you usually only have, say, sometimes you only have 25 times the big blind or 30 times the big blind, which obviously it has to lower your raise amount. Or you'll just be going all in every hand.
3 more.
Get a raise here from Barbecue John. And Barbecue John, more action out of him than we saw all of last week, or 2 weeks ago that was. Barry's not going to get involved, and I don't mind that fold at all. One of the reasons you don't mind that lay down there, even if you hit your 3, Barbecue John has to hit a monster for him to pay you off. Now, if you're going to call him with pocket 3s, you're almost more calling him to see if you can take it away. Now, Barry was in position, but hey, you can pick a better spot. I mean, if you want to figure out, now Jay actually had pocket 4s, and he threw it away also, playing the player there. And the players in this game are going to pay attention. And if Barbecue John wants action, he's going to have to probably give a little bit more action. Now, it's interesting. If you want to try to figure out what a good raise amount as a game is, you should try to figure out what everybody's average stack is and how much money each person has in relation to the big blinds. And then you can start correlating what my raise should be. Barry's got ace-queen suited here. And actually, it was Russ the raiser. Wow, Russ is raising here. Now, this is a hand that doesn't make any sense to me. Raising with 4 deuce is one thing. Raising with ace deuce suited is one thing. But now he's raising with ace 7 offsuit in first position. And look at this now. Barry has smooth calls with the ace queen of hearts. And Jonas has made a move here, and Jonas is moving all in with 5 deuce. Let's see if anybody sniffs this out. Now, I think it's an easy laydown for Russ because he's got Barry behind him. But now Barry's got to start thinking, with all the dead money in there, am I in a race situation? Should I call here? And look at this. How much more money is it from Jonas? That's the question.
14 more.
It's 1,300 more. 1,300 more, is that what I'm getting? 14 more, and the pot is about, say, 800. So the pot's 2,200, 14 more to call. And I got to tell you, if you're Barry here, you're only really behind queens, kings, and aces.
And ace-king, obviously.
And ace-king. But is there, say, a 25% chance or a 20% chance that Jonas has nothing and is making a move like Jonas does a lot? And if there is, say, 20% chance of him making a move, well, then is it worth gambling with ace-queen of hearts? And it might be. I mean, he's getting about 1.7 to 1 on his money.
And again, a lot of times, ace-queen is not a hand that you want to call all in, but with the stack sizes and the pot odds that Barry is held in this particular situation, I don't mind a call here probably at all.
No, especially against Jonas.
Yeah.
If you say, okay, Jonas has got ace-king 25% of the time. Jonas has got pocket aces, kings, or queens, say 20% of the time. And the other 60% of the time, we're either racing or I'm ahead.
Right.
I think you have to call getting almost 2 to 1 on your money.
Barry's got to realize we've been on him about, not calling off different types of players like a Dr. BB or, say, a Barbecue John, but this is a much different situation here.
Well, I was talking to him before the show, and I said, always pay attention to who you're playing against.
Right.
And I always say, hey, if you're going to lose a big pot to Jonas or Jay because you think they're bluffing you, that's one thing. But you don't want to lose a big pot to, say, Barbecue John or Dr. BB thinking they're bluffing you.
Right.
Because they're not.
And Barry lays it down.
Well, and I got to tell you, I mean, it's not a terrible laydown, but I think if he figured out the money in there, I think he probably calls that.
Yeah.
Nice play by Jonas. I mean, Jonas wasn't that much of an underdog. What was it, probably like 63-37?
Right.
About a 2 to 1 dog.
2 live cards, obviously.
Yeah.
Button's going to move over here to Barbecue John. Email here from Ryan Wellings from the UK. I got a new nickname for Dave, Untuckman, for his tendency to pull people's shirts over their heads.
You get it, the Untuck Man?
Aha. And Jonas has ace-queen suited, and he's going to make it 200 to go here. Now, Alex is going to call with pocket 3s in seat 4. And we're going to see this one heads up here, ace-queen suited against Alex with pocket 3s. King 9 deuce here. This is probably going to go check, bet, fold.
Yeah,
wow, it goes check, check. Turns a 9. And now is Alex going to bet out? Now it's Jonas. He's going to make the call. Alex bets and Jonas calls. And the river is a king, and Alex is counterfeited here.
Yeah, Alex has got garbage.
And Alex is going to bet. He's going to bet 400 here. And is Jonas going to call him with an ace? He does.
Yeah, and Alex, unfortunately for him, got counterfeited.
Yep.
His hand is absolute garbage. I mean, his 3 plays. That's about it. Best 5-card hands, obviously. So Alex has kings and 9s with a 3 kicker, while Jonas has got kings and 9s with an ace kicker. What was the other nickname here? I know Bart plays high no limit online. Do you have any concerns? Oh, where's your nickname, though?
Oh, he didn't have a nickname for me.
Oh, I thought it was a nickname for both of us.
He was just asking about the possibilities of being cheated. And that's why, I tend not
You don't really play that high, do you?
I don't play really any higher than what my comfort level is. which is, look at this, Mo's got aces here. And he's going to raise it up to 175. Do we have pocket queens here for
Queens
Avo
for
in
Avo.
seat 1? Pocket queens. Jonas calls in between, and Avo just smooth calls. That's going to bring
man.
Alex in.
And this is Mo's nightmare.
Wow.
I got to tell you, this is an absolute nightmare for Mo.
175 times 4, almost an $800 pot here. 4-5 of hearts and pocket queens and 6-10 of diamonds. 10-8-5. Well, Alex has top pair. Let's see how Mo's going to play it.
And Avo's got an overpair. Is Avo going to get involved?
Mo's going to bet 500 here.
Now, Jonas said he had a gut shot. He's not going to get involved, obviously. Now, what is Avo going to do? And when Avo either calls this or raises this,
He's going to call.
Clear, easy fold for Alex. I'm surprised Alex called the raise in the
Yeah,
first
I
place.
can't
10-6.
imagine Alex is going to stay in here. I mean, he's got top pair, nothing else going on. Weak-ass kicker.
It's one thing to call with 6-4 suited. Why are you
Right.
calling with 10-6? I mean, a 3-gapper?
And this pot now is $1,800. And the turn pairs the 10.
Oh, man.
And that's got to be really scary for Mo if he thinks that Avo might have been in there maybe with top pair or something.
The thing is, though, is Avo might not think he needs to represent. He might think his queens are good.
It's an $1,800 pot here, and Mo is trying to figure out what to do. It goes check, check, and the river's a 9.
And Mo's going to win this unless Avo can get him off the hand. And Mo's going to put
And Mo's going to put, look at this, a $300 bet into an $1,800 pot here.
And that is a clear blockish
And
bet
Avo
there.
calls,
Yep.
and Mo's going to take it down there with the aces.
And it's a nice bet by Mo. I think, first of all, he figured his aces are probably good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to check and face a huge bet. So he puts in kind of a little blockish stop bet. And he takes it down. Wow. And that's the problem. When you call a hand, when you call a raise with 10-6 suited, first of all, I'm not quite sure what you're looking to hit.
Yeah, that one is really far-fetched.
But then you hit top pair, you get a bet and a call, and you end up throwing it away because, hey, well, that's not what you're looking to hit.
Right. I got to tell you, I mean, like we said in the beginning of the show, the players aren't really that deep in this game compared to the blind sizes. So, I mean, 10-6 of diamonds, I mean, against Mo, under
that's
the
the
gun,
thing.
I mean, what do you have to hit there to get paid off?
I mean, it's funny. Tomorrow night's game, when we have 10-20 blinds and people have $8,000, $9,000 behind,
Right.
that's really a lot more play in this
Friday
game.
night's game.
Yeah, Friday night. Thank you.
Russ is going to raise here with Jack 9 on the button. He's going to take it down.
Oh, look at Jay Siegel. Jay Siegel has gotten so big. He talks about himself in the third person now.
Yeah, Dave, I usually cap out online at about a $600 max buy-in, 3-6 game. I mean, I've hopped into 5-10 games on Party and on Absolute. Absolute, you can actually buy in for $2,000. And I'm comfortable at that level, obviously, but I don't want to play online for those stakes, especially on Absolute where there's just one game going on. 5-way action here.
I agree with you.
10-3-8 with a couple of spades.
Misses everybody, really. I think pocket fours are still the best hand in seat number 1.
Well, Barry's going to bet here from the button.
Oh, he's got
ace
second
side.
pair.
Yeah, he's got ace 8. 10-3-8 on the flop.
Hey, on the button, why not bet that?
And he's going to take it down.
And this is actually a nice night for Barry so far. He hasn't won any big pots, but he's only been involved in a lot of small pots, and he's probably won 5 or 6 of them, and he's probably up $1,500 real quiet.
I got to tell you, when I get, I usually get, what do I get, a massage maybe once every 2 weeks here.
Right.
I know you don't. That's the guy I get it from.
He's good,
I
huh?
don't know his name, but he definitely is the nuts when it comes to chair massages.
Right. You like him? That's cool.
Yeah. Kind of in that way too. Pocket jacks here for Russ in seed 5.
Not much of anything for anybody else. Just getting a quick grasp of the cans out here.
Got an open limp here by Barbecue John with ace 4 suited from up front.
And Russ is raised. I mean, Russ has been the most aggressive player at this table right now.
He's going to make it 175 to go with jacks.
Who would have thunk it with the table with Jonas and Jason and Barry? And Russ is the table captain
Wow, look
right
at
now.
this. Barbecue John's going to call out of position with ace 4 spades.
Wow.
Here we go to the flop.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
look at this flop. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my.
Jack's full. It goes check, check. The turn is a 3. 3 4s for Barbecue John. Jack's full for Russ.
Oh, don't forget to build the pot here, Russ.
Russ, don't get so cute with it. You don't make enough money here.
Yeah.
I mean, he checked the flop. Is he just going to smooth call here? You got to build it up a little bit.
You have to. What are you doing?
Got to get money in there.
Oh, he's not building it up, though.
And the
now,
river is an 8. And now that there's several things that Barbecue John cannot beat, obviously it's some sort of running hearts. He can't beat pocket eights. Barbecue John is going to bet 350 now.
He's gotten so cute here that you wonder if Barbecue John is just going to call this here.
And Russ mini raises him. And I think he's going to leave some money on the table, even if Barbecue John calls here.
Not even a question he's going to.
Yeah.
And John is just going to call this.
And
The
I
third
got to
heart
tell
out
you,
there.
John probably lost the absolute minimum on that hand.
He really did.
Oh, Russ. Russ. What are you doing to us?
Oh, man. And I mean, I got to tell you, the check and a check. Now, if the guy comes out and fires on the flop, I have no problem smooth calling that, okay, on the flop. I mean, you've got jacks full. But when Barbecue John checks to me, I got to tell you, I'm going to put a little small bet in there because if he doesn't have a hand, I can't get paid anyway.
If Russ raises on the turn, I think the money goes in on the turn, especially with that rag 3 coming on the turn. Oh, man.
And then on the turn, he just throws 300. It's like you've got to build a pot.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he doesn't know that he has a 4. There's no way he could know he has a 4.
Yeah. Sometimes still at this level you see players getting too cute with their hands. Well, I got to tell you, I mean, Russ won it, but I think he left, looks like, however much Barbecue John has in front of him. Maybe
definitely.
1,500 on the table.
I mean, the funny thing is, what happens if Barbecue John checks? What happens if Russ actually bets the flop? Is Barbecue John check raising him?
I don't know. It would have been interesting. 5-way action here. King 4-4. A couple people have kings.
Wow, what a flop.
3 people have kings here.
Man.
King 10 plays right now.
I saw that 4 and the 4, and I'm going, oh, my.
Russ is going to bet here with a flush draw. And Mo raises with King 6, and he gets, King 10. Avo's out of there with King 6, I assume.
And Alex moves all in.
And Alex has got he's got a flush draw, and he check raises all in here. Russ bet, Mo raised, and Alex moved all in from up front.
Wow, that's an interesting play from Alex. Now, he is in the blind, and I guess he's trying to represent the 4.
He's all in for 2,600 here, and the pot is not that big. It was a $250 bet, a min raised by Mo.
And Alex is in terrible shape if Mo actually calls, but I don't know if Mo can call this.
Well, the pot is $750 plus the dead money, $1,000. It's going to be a $3,600 pot, $2,600 for Mo to call.
I mean, it's a really, really big check raise, though. It's a really big check raise. Now, would Alex do this with a 4, being scared of possibly hearts out there?
Would he also do it with a high king? Seems unlikely.
Yeah, I don't buy the king. I mean, I'm buying a 4 or a flush draw here.
And Russ is trying to figure out, well, can I call in between it? Well, he doesn't know what Mo's going to do, and he's actually, he's drawing dead with Mo's cards.
I mean, I think he needs to lay that down here. 2 players in there. I think he needs to lay it down.
Now I have a feeling that Mo is just going to lay it down. Let's see if he even thinks, he's just going to lay it down.
Wow, hey, nice play by Alex.
Yep.
Nice play by Alex. A little bluff there. And the turn was an ace of hearts. He would have gotten there. And I guess Mo just figured, you know what? Maybe this guy's got a flush draw, but there's a good chance he's got a 4. It's an unraised pot.
I got to tell you, the one thing about Mo, because we know his game so well, and the one thing, there's several things I don't necessarily like about his game. A lot of the stuff, I like a lot more than I dislike. But is he the type of guy that actually raises a 4 there on the flop? I mean, he actually loves to slow play.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if he raises with a 4 there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I told you about the hand that I got involved with the other day where he decided to check on the button
on the flop,
his set to me.
Yeah.
And I probably don't play, and I ended up turning straight.
Right.
And I doubled up off him.
Right on the border.
And we get an email here from Leighton. Leighton wanted to know, hey, tomorrow night's game, what is the structure going to be?
5-10, 500 men.
I think actually it's going to be 10-20.
Oh, it's 10-20. Oh, okay.
I believe it's a 10-20 pot on the game tomorrow night, but I will confirm that with Mo as well.
4-way action here, limped around 9-4-4 on the flop. And Alex is going to come out and bet and see where he's at with pocket 3s. He's going to bet 200 here.
Now, see, that's what I buy. Now, if Alex had a king there, I'd probably buy him betting right out into it. And Alex takes it down. And sometimes when you're new to a structure like this, all you need to do is win that one pot to kind of get it under your, kind of get yourself going.
So, I mean, even though Russ is the big winner, he should have about 1,500 more there on the table.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny, I mean, he's really played it well tonight so far.
And you remember, the times that David and I advocate slow playing, and again, we're taking a look at a setup here, is against maybe an aggressive player from up front. Maybe you check Jack's Fulls against, say, a Jay Katsutani or Corporation Mike, but Are you inducing a bluff from Barbecue John? Are you kidding me?
I might check 2 streets against Jay or Mike.
Right.
But against Barbecue John, exactly what you're saying. If Barbecue John does not have a 4 or a pocket pair in his hand, you are not getting any action from him. He will check all 3 times.
So you might as well bet and hope to hell for some reason he has a 4 and win the maximum, right?
Or think that maybe he's got pocket 9s and he just doesn't put you on a jack or 4. And for whatever reason, he just calls you. He's just not that player who's going to bet.
Mo's got Cowboys over here in seat 8.
I'm ordering food here. No problem. I'll wait for you.
Barry's shown some nice patience tonight. Sometimes he part of his game that's lacking. But tonight he showed some really nice patience and discipline.
And Mo limped in. He limped in.
And Avo raised it up.
And Avo raised. I'm sure Mo was probably trying to get a raise from Jonas.
You know the crazy thing?
A raise from Avo, a call by Barbecue John, and a call by Jay Katsutani, and Mo pulls the limp re-raise.
I got to tell you, and this would fool the hell out of me because it's going to work, obviously. Nobody's going to call him.
Right.
But it would really fool the hell out of me because he's limping in. He's expecting me to believe him limping in 2 off the button with aces or kings or queens. And
Very
he did.
rare, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I got to think that if it was a tighter player to his immediate left besides Jonas, there's no chance in hell he limps in there with kings.
No, definitely
Like, if
not.
there were 2 Avos to his left, I just don't buy it.
See, I think Avo's pretty aggressive, though, especially on the button. And we've seen Avo raise it up 3 or 4 times already.
And now Mo has ace, king, and diamonds. And he's going to raise it up.
Yep.
250.
Going to make it 250 to go.
Now, you see how Mo's raised a little bit bigger this time because Barry was limping in. Now, before he raised it with aces, there were no limpers in before. And Barry's not going to call him with 4 or 5 of clubs. Not a bad hand to take against a raiser, but you don't want to take it heads up out of position.
Going to take a look at a collection pot here now. In collection games here at the bike, we play collection pots where the winner of this pot, if it's over, say, I think it's $500, pays the collection for each player, which in this game is $13 per half an hour. So we're not playing a raked game, obviously. But they do take a jackpot in this game.
They do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, absolutely crazy.
It's
It's funny. Some of the guys just like it. They go, I want to win the jackpot. The funniest thing is that if somebody had quad aces in this game and the other guy had pocket kings, you could actually lose more in the pot than you can win in the jackpot.
4-way action here. Deuce 3-7. I'm going to come out and say something that might get me fired from the higher ups. But if they want to fire me, fire me. I don't know what the hell they are doing having jackpots and high limit, no limit games here. I don't
The players
understand.
like it. It's the customers who like it.
No, I don't buy that for a second.
It's the truth. They've never had them before. I'm telling you, if you ask a lot of the players that really don't know, they like it. Alan likes it.
Look at this. Russ here is bet with ace-4, and I believe that Jay's raised him. A raise here by Jay with nothing. So Russ has made a little semi-bluff bet here.
Well, you wonder if the players are
and
trying
Russ calls.
You wonder if the players are starting to get onto the fact that Russ is making a lot of steals at the pot here.
Turn is a 6.
Russ, look at the best hand. But can he take any heat?
Russ checks, and Jay's going to bet 600 now.
I mean, Russ has got a wheel draw. He has the best hand here, but how does he know that? I mean, couldn't Jay just have a 7? I mean, couldn't Jay have 4 or 5?
I mean, this pot is quickly built up to almost $2,000 now with that $600 bet here on the turn.
And this is one of those spots where I think Russ is really in raise or fold situation. I don't think he can just call this, can he? I mean, was he going to call and then call $2,000 on the river?
He only has a gut shot. He's out of there with the
I was
overcard.
going to say, nice read by Jay. Takes it down.
Jay kind of waiting in the wings there to make that play.
Jay's always quiet the first hour of the show, isn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, I got to tell you, a lot of the players, because Mo never had it. We never had it in the big no-limit games.
Are you telling me that Mo brought it on because the players wanted it?
The players all want it. Not all of them, but the players that don't know any better
It
want
was that $1 million promotion that they started and ended like
Exactly.
8 months ago.
Well, the players
and then they
want it.
wanted all the Hold'em to be jackpot games.
For
And
whatever
then they never ended the jackpot in the no-limit games.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the players think, jackpot. The casino's giving us money. Why don't we want it? They don't. The players don't realize that
How
you're
much
paying for it.
Oh, God.
You're actually paying
I
for the
put
jackpot.
so much money down that damn drop. It is ridiculous.
I mean, I estimate you probably have to win. You have to win the jackpot once a year just to break even.
King, queen, 10 here with a couple of spades. No one really has much.
No, Barry's got the best hand here, but not much of a hand.
Turn is a 9. I'm not going to go on because I have so much more to say, and I think I might get myself in trouble. So, I mean, the jackpot in this game, Dave, is $12,000. That's the total jackpot. I mean,
well, it's a good thing that you're not going to go on with this.
Yeah. Alex's bet here with a pair of 9s, and he's going to take it down.
Well, I understand what you're saying, obviously.
I mean,
and we saw Johnny. I mean, was it Johnny Chan and Barry Greenstein chopped up at jackpot?
Okay, Pete.
Chip count coming up here.
Can I have 4 yellow, please? Yes, sir.
$60,000 on the table now. Russ up to $19K. Wow. Avo still about $11,000. Barry's working his way up to $7,500. Nice, quiet evening for Barry so far. And let's see how they're doing. Russ up $12,000. Mo up $1,500. And it says Barry's up $500. I actually think Barry's up a little more than that. Jonas down $7,500. Barbecue John down $1,800. Probably should be more than that even with that flop. Jack 4-4. We'll keep track of this all night.
Interesting, I have an email here from Katz. He said that he's played with Adam in underground clubs in New York, and he agrees with David, and that Adam is not necessarily a consistent winner in these games.
He can't. The way he plays, he cannot be. We saw he made a play last week with Jonas. Jonas bets $300. Made $300 to go, and he calls with ace-9 offsuit.
Yeah.
Come on, there's no. That's not a positive EV play. Cannot be.
Four-way action here. King, deuce, deuce.
But hey, you strike lightning 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah.
Anybody can beat this game. You know what I mean?
Barry is bet 200, and Paul flop trips, and he's going to make a little min raise here. And this is the case where how can Barry continue on when Paul raises here? Barry's got king 8.
No, this is an easy laydown. This is what Barry's got to realize. He's got to play the player. Got to play the player here. It's an easy laydown.
Oh, man.
Well, Barry can catch a king.
Well, as Paul is that seasoned pro, I'm sure he's going to bet some amount here on the turn.
Of course he's going to build himself a pot here. It's not even a question. You got to realize it's the big blind. Paul could have a deuce.
And actually, that queen could be somewhat deceptive for Barry, thinking that Barry might be able to continue on to chop the hand. Thinking that his kicker
So you're
was not
putting
gonna
money
play.
into chop?
I'm just saying. And Paul bets 400 now.
And Barry's got to realize, he's got to look at the board here. There's no draw. There's no straight. There's no flush draw. What is the worst hand that Paul could have? The absolute worst hand Paul could have.
Paul showed him a 3.
I mean, at best, you're putting your money in there to chop it.
Yep. That's interesting. I never actually... have you ever played, like, in a club in New York City?
I haven't, no.
Yeah.
I moved out here before they...
But Katz was saying that a lot of big-name players played there, like Phil Locke, Cloney Gowan, Moneymaker, and he's seen a lot of Adam. And he's very reckless, and his losses were of equal or greater impact to some of his big wins that he puts on.
Well, I mean, if we all remember, and we all do, remember Mike, say 7 to 8 months ago, okay? Where Mike would win 20,000 one session, the next week he would give it back. And it would go up and down like that. And a player like Adam, his swings are going to be huge. Because when he hits it, he's going to hit really big. But when he goes in a bad streak, though, he's going to lose all his money. There's no way.
King 8-10 here on the flop. It gets checked around the turns and 9 that gives Barry Woods on the button. Barry did not bet the open-ended straight draw on the flop, but he took a card and he picked it up on the turn now. And now he's going to bet. He bets 300. I don't think anybody can call it. I think he would have taken it down if he bet the flop at the semi-bluff. Stage Music on 2+2 says, "Good Lord, absolutely the worst played hand I've seen in a long time. Russ, write less, play more."
Yeah, and Russ has really played well tonight, I got to tell you.
Well, not that hand.
No, I guess I was about to say.
Yeah.
He's really played well tonight up until then.
Yeah.
And I think he knows, obviously. Well, actually, he doesn't know. I don't think Barbecue John showed him the ace-4.
Give Russ's cards to Avo and see if he would have made the nuts.
Button moves over here to Paul.
No, it's either Russ. Just give me Russ's cards.
Interesting mix of players we have here tonight. None of these players are, clueless. They all have an idea of what they're doing.
Jones is going to check pocket 8s here out of the big blind. 3-way action limped around. King, 6, king. Let's see if Jones throws some money in here. He's got over pair to the 6 on board.
Is Mo going to get involved? Mo's got 2 pair.
125. I don't know. I don't think Mo's going to get involved.
You never know against Jonas.
Like you said, though, Jonas, he's liable to bet his king there. He's liable to bet a better 6. He's liable to bet a flush draw. Do you want to pick that spot to get involved with 6-3?
I agree with you. I guess to the point. I mean, Jonas also could be betting absolutely nothing.
And you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
I think my blog has been updated. Actually, my blog has not been updated. I lie.
Yeah, you got to get writing.
No, I wrote it. It just hasn't been updated.
Jay is raised here with, looks like pocket 10s from up front.
You know, it's kind of funny. I was actually reading my blog. I was looking through it. And our producer actually censored me.
Jonas called the small blind here with king 9.
With some funny stuff, though, I got to tell you. She put in really some ingenious, funny little lines here and there.
Jay puts a little continuation bet in there. And he takes it down. Button's going to move over here to seat 9. Are you a big fan of visors? I mean, we got 2 guys with visors on the table here.
I have
Barbecue John and Jay.
I have 2 visors myself. I've got a Red Sox visor and I've got a Lanai visor.
What is the point of a visor, say, versus a hat?
Yeah, you don't go bald as quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't wear it.
I like my visor, actually. I wore that during the World Series last year.
Barry Woods has got an ace-5 offsuit.
I like that. Ray actually said it's like a convertible as opposed to a hardtop.
Barry's going to race 175 here with ace-5. Jonas calls the pocket 6s. And Jay's in there with king-queen. So here we go. About a $550 pot going 3 ways. Jack 10 deuce. Good flop for king-queen here for Jay.
Yeah, it's a real good flop for king-queen.
Well, he checked it. And Barry checks. And it gets checked around.
Wow.
Turns a deuce. Let's see if Jay leads out now with the king-queen.
The problem is now if he leads out.
Mike Jonas still. Now Barry's going to bet. I don't know if I buy it, though. What wouldn't he have bet? Look at Jonas quickly calls him here with 6s. That might bring Jay in behind. Jay might check raise here. I mean, you've got a bet and a call. There's a lot of dead money in there now.
Problem is, though, you got to start thinking, though, if Jay check raises, does Jonas buy it? I mean, it's Jay making a move on Jonas.
And Jay calls.
Yeah.
Plus, quickly, almost maybe $1,600. And the river's a queen.
There you go, and Jay gets there.
It's a 3rd club. Check by Jay. And I think Jonas is probably going to be content to check this down. Jay's going to take it down with king-queen.
Yeah, he doesn't want to bluff 2 players.
Yeah, and Jonas is saying, I knew you didn't have anything, but yeah, sometimes I always wonder with Barry, like, you know, he plays so aggressively post-flop when he has something or when he has a draw, but if he totally whiffs, he'll check, but then, like, the turn pairs the deuce, and now all of a sudden he thinks he's going to bet and drive people out. I
mean, the only thing is the hand before that, he did check his straight draw.
That's right, but he hadn't raised pre-flop, though. That's a big difference, you know? But, I mean, we have seen Barry do that a lot. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's hard to piece it together. What? You checked pocket 8s because you thought they were no good.
Right.
And now you think they're good, so you're going to bet them? Okay.
Limp, limp. Barbecue John has got pocket 8s here in the small blind. I was going to say, would he ever raise here, pick up some dead money? He was going to give him action, and he does raise.
300 more.
He's going to make it 300 more, and I think everyone's going to go running here. Up and down suited cards. King 5, and ace 6. And Russ calls with king 5 against Barbecue John. King 5 of spades. Wow. Paul's not in the hand. And there's the king. Now, how do you get involved? Is he going to get involved? Russ is going to come out and bet. And Barbecue John's going to come out and bet. He bet 600. He doesn't have all that much left here. $600 bet, about a pot-sized bet.
And is that really the flop you're looking for when you have king 5 of spades? I mean, he happens to have the best hand here, but how does he know that?
And I got to tell you, Russ is actually going to raise to 1,500, but I might just maybe, if I think that my hand is good, and maybe Barbecue John has jacks, queens, 10s, would you just let him keep leading into you, or do you not want a diamond to come off, kill your action, or Barbecue John's just not going to bet again?
Well, I mean, in that case, can Barbecue John call any raise?
Well, he's not. Russ is not going to get called or get played back at by any hand that Barbecue John can't beat. I don't think. Right?
You'd imagine.
Is Barbecue John going to come back over the top with pocket queens there?
No, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
You probably lay down pocket queens.
Yeah. Open limp here by Paul. And we got a $250 raise here by Jay. Jay's got king of clubs in his hand.
You know, it's always funny when I'm looking at some of these posts and I see somebody actually posting, does anybody think that like a Barry Woods could beat a 2-4 no limit game on Party?
Well, five-way action here. The pot is $1,000. And Jay checks it. Queen deuce 7 on the flop. Now Paul has top pair, and Paul's going to lead.
Yeah.
He's going to bet 700 with Queen Jack.
And I don't know if anybody's going to call this. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. There's no draw there whatsoever. You got to look at that board and go Queen 7 deuce.
I mean, Jonas is short here.
Right. What is Paul betting?
Wait, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, remember, Jay raised to 250. You get a call by Barry and a call by Paul, but Jonas has got like 2,000 left. Are you going to make a call for 250 when you've got 2,000 left with 7-4 of clubs?
Yeah. He really doesn't have it. I don't know if he's deep enough to really be making those big calls.
Yeah.
You're wondering if maybe he's playing a little short stack right now to see if he can kind of like get lucky, get himself going again before he rebuys a lot. Now it's funny, I'm looking at this post and SP Surfing actually comes out and says the truth. Michael over there says, because you cannot compare online players to live players. And I agree with that 100%. Some people could say, well, Barry couldn't beat an online game. Well, I'd like to venture that a lot of the online players might have trouble beating a live game on a regular basis as well. I don't know for sure, but it's clearly a different game. I've played both as well. Yeah, Jonas's play tonight is definitely interesting, to say the least, you know? Puzzling me.
Got a raise here by
Yeah, Jay raised on the button with Queen Jack, and Barry called him.
Barry's got a gut shot wheel drawn backdoor spades.
Yeah, I mean, the flop is completely awful for Jay, but Jay, you know Jay's going to continue betting here.
I think Barry might bet right into him. Now it goes check. Turns
Wow.
at 3. Wow, what a card for Barry Woods. He's got it straight.
He makes the wheel, plus he's got the backdoor flush draw now.
Bets 250. Yeah, he's picked up the nut flush draw, and he's made the wheel.
And Jason is not going to get involved.
Well, it's really interesting with some of these guys who are loose aggressive, but sometimes still have the sense to not bet even with the scare card out there when they know that they're not necessarily good.
Well, that's the funny thing. When you watch a player like Mike play, Mike seems to have one gear. And
Yeah.
when he's catching cards, it works great for him. But Mike almost always bets there. Jason seems to have that other gear, that sixth sense, that kind of, I think, makes him a little bit better. Although you wonder there if Jason bets the flop, if Barry can call with ace-4.
And Jay's gonna raise there with King Jack, and he's gonna take it down.
Now we get a question here from Baron Banger Toth, and he says, Bart, I have a question that I hope you can answer. What are your thoughts on jackpots in high-limit games? Would you want it? Isn't it sort of a waste? I mean, if you found out a casino did that, would you ask them to cease the practice? Bart?
You're going to start seeing smoke come out of my head here pretty soon. I don't want to. I think this is the only set of headphones that we have. I'm going to toss it across the room.
I mean, I'll tell you, if you're not a good poker player, you love jackpots. Because it's a way to win.
Yeah.
If you're a good poker player, most professional poker players never like a jackpot.
$200 raise here by Jay. He's really starting to open it up. Alex is called with deuce 5 of diamonds, and Paul has made a smooth call in the big blind with jacks.
And Jay loves to do that. Jay kind of watches, wow, look at the flop for Jay.
Yeah, and he's flop trip 9s, and he's going to bet right out here. Now, is Paul going to get involved here?
Now, it's a good flop for Paul to get away from in the sense that he can't beat the queen, he can't beat a 9.
He check calls here. And I got to tell you, Jay probably is going to build.
Oh,
look at this, he fills up. Now, is he going to bet a little bit on the turn? What we always talk about, Paul is not the type of player that you're going to check to induce a bluff, and he's going to continue to fire. I like the bet.
Yeah.
And Paul, I think, is going to call him. Let's see here.
Well, and Paul's in a tough spot here. I mean, Paul can only be a pure bluff. That's all he can
And
be.
this pot has been built up nicely by Jay to almost $2,500. The river's a 6. Paul checks.
Now time to value bet for Jay. I mean, I think he can put a nice $1,500 bet in there, and maybe get called by Paul.
And Jay moves in. He's going to move all in here.
Well, you know what he's doing here? He's overbetting the pot a little bit, really to put Paul to the test. He's really trying to make it look like a steal.
Well, the question is, how much does Paul have? It looks like Paul might have 3,000 left or so. So he bets 3,000 into a $2,500 pot. The pot is 5,500, 3,000 for Paul to call. And I love the way Jay's played.
I love it. Now, conventional wisdom, a lot of really good players would go, wait a second, why doesn't he bet like 1,000 or 1,200 and get a call? Well, that looks like a value bet, and that actually might get Paul to think about it even more. Now Paul's thinking, wait a second, why is he betting so much? He doesn't want me to call? Is he trying to buy the pot, or is he just trying to make it look that way? And this is the game that good poker players are playing. Psychological warfare going back and forth.
And you see the fact that Jay did not check the turn in position when he filled up. Oh, look at this. Paul makes the call, and what a masterpiece, I got to say, that Jay just pulled there on that hand.
Well, I mean, obviously he had to get, I mean, it's a masterpiece in the sense that, he had to get really lucky to flop trip 9s.
Oh, I mean, the way that he played it post-flop, though.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously built the pot up there.
Yeah.
And
that pot is over $8,000.
Put enough doubt into Paul's mind that Paul actually paid him off to the tune of about, actually $5,500, $5,000 total.
Yeah.
And just like that.
Well, the pot's like 10,000 actually. You're right.
And just like that, Jay was kind of like just lurking, waiting, did not really play many hands for the first hour of the show, and just like that gets paid off. And the only thing I'm wondering now with Paul's game, now you're slow playing jacks like that, which is fine. The flop comes out Queen 9-9. All you can beat is a bluff. Man, I know Jay is capable of bluffing.
Well, it's interesting that you said he's slow play. I don't necessarily know if it's slow play, but I wanted to actually point out, but then the hand got real interesting and I never got a chance to say it, that if you got a raise there by Jay and a call in between, Paul probably 70-80% of the time smooth calls with jacks, but against Jay, do you just pop it back and you know you have the best hand right now?
Well, that's the point. I mean, against Jay with a player in between, might you want to pop it back?
Yeah.
Obviously, he just smooth called, kind of disguising the strength of his hand. Obviously, jacks, if you play back at your opponent and he calls you, you have no idea where you're at.
Right.
Jacks can be very vulnerable.
And again, Paul was about 5,000 deep at that hand, so if he pops it back, say maybe 700 or 800, 400 or 500 more, Jay still might call with 7-9 offsuit in position.
Yeah, he might.
And it still might have been played out the same way.
Who knows? I mean, the interesting play on the hand also is, you start thinking of possibilities. Now, if Jay is not bluffing, if he's got a queen or a 9, obviously you're losing to him. You can beat Jack 10. You can beat a straight draw.
Yeah.
And you can probably beat pretty much anything else. Is there any way that he has aces?
Look at this. $150 raise here by Jay. Paul re-raises to 500, and Jonas has got queens, and he pushes in. Is Paul steaming a little bit here? I mean, we've never seen Paul ever steam. He re-raised there with 7-9.
Well, you know what I mean? He might have just been re-raising Jay.
Yeah.
I can't.
And now I guess it's a pot odds question now.
I mean, he might have been re-raising Jay, which probably would have worked.
How much more is it? I mean, the pot is, it's about 1,300 before.
Yeah, I don't think Paul is right. I don't think Paul is steaming here as much as just he just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
The pot is 2,400. It's about 1,200 or less than 1,200. About 1,025, about a $2,300 pot. So Paul's getting 2.5 to 1 here, and he's thinking about calling. Because if Jonas doesn't have an overpair, it's the right call, right?
And he's going to call. He thinks he has to call, and he does.
Yeah.
And Paul's in bad shape, obviously. He's going to have to get lucky, sort of like, wow.
He's got a straight draw to the 8 here. Turns a 10. He needs an 8 and an 8 only. And the river's a queen. Jonas fills up on the river.
Yeah, and Jonas is going to take it down. Queen's full. And just like that, Paul is quickly down about $7,000, $8,000 in the span of 2 hands.
No, I mean, I have never seen Paul tilt on the show. It's just, I think it's almost a little bit coincidental. I don't think Paul's steaming, but it's just interesting that he picked that next hand to re-raise after he just lost that
Yeah, well, he just lost 2-9-7, so he might have actually wanted to, and I'm going to throw this at you, because Paul likes to play back at people and kind of have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Jay raised again. Now, Paul played back at him, and he probably assumed, okay, Jay's going to lay it down, and then I'm going to show him the 9-7.
Yeah.
I guarantee that's what he was thinking. Little did he know, obviously, that, Jonas is going to wake up with queens in the big
Well,
blind.
that's great for playing short stack strategy for Jonas.
Oh, yeah, it works out perfect for him.
Avo's got pocket kings here, and he's going to raise it up to 250 out of the big blind.
Yeah, and Avo really hasn't gotten out of line all night. You wonder if anybody's going to call. No, doesn't look like it. And I can't imagine Jonas is going to call out of position with 8-9 diamonds.
8-9. He still doesn't have that much. Well, he's got maybe...
Now he's got about 4,500. 4,000, say.
So our head's up for about $600 here. Well, Avo's got top set.
Well, he's not out of the woods, though. If he slow plays and a 6 falls down, Jonas is going to have a straight.
Wow, and he does. He checks it in position. Turns a 4.
Same 6 here.
Third club.
And Jonas, Avo can no longer give a free card here. If Jonas has one club in his hand, he's in trouble.
That's what Jonas is saying. Why don't you put a 6 right there on the turn?
6 comes off there. Avo's going to lose also. Avo's going to double Jonas up.
Email here from Alex Willen. He says, guys, will you be drinking again on Cinco de Mayo? Also, that day happens to be the same day as No Pants Day.
What the hell is No Pants Day? What is No Pants Day? Sounds like something Isaac would know about. What is No Pants Day? Well, Isaac doesn't even know.
Sounds like a good day if we can get a couple cocktail waitresses
Yeah, it
here.
doesn't sound like a good day for us.
Yeah,
though.
not just us two, but
No,
some other
no.
people to participate.
I got to tell you, if you're not wearing pants, I'm not here. I'm drawing the line right there. I hope you don't take that the wrong way, okay?
Barry is raised here with pocket jacks, and Jay's going to call with ace queen. I believe Jay might have straddled here. 6-5 deuce here.
Oh, nice flop for jacks. Barry's played it pretty straightforward tonight.
Going to bet 300. And Barry takes it down there.
And apparently my new blog is up. Get an email here from James Gelfer. And it says here, James Gelfer, I just read your new blog, and you can go to liveatthebike.com, click on Under the Gun, and it's my blog. And he said, I just read the new blog, and I think Alan is on King Jack. There you go. Do me a favor, read it. Let me know what you think Alan has, and what would you do?
Limped around here. Jonas reluctantly gets away from ace-9 offsuit in the cutoff. Had trouble with that one. 5-way action here.
Yeah, not a bad flop from Barry. Barry's got top pair with a gut shot. And, Barbecue John is the same hand.
Jay's going to lead out with queen 7. He's going to bet 225. Looks to be the... Barry's got the best hand here with 8-10. So does
Russ
Barbecue
calls.
John. Wow, Russ is going to call in between with king 8.
And I got to tell you, when Barry calls, I'm assuming that Barbecue John is going to throw this away now at 10-8, isn't he?
He's got to overcall. This is some real stuff we're seeing tonight. Russ is in there with king 8.
Well, there's the queen.
The turn's the queen, and Jay makes queens up now.
Yeah, he's got 2 pair, and he's in overwhelming favor.
And I think it's way too coordinated a board to give a free card. He's going to come out and bet big here on the turn. He's going to bet 600.
I mean, is there any way you'd be scared of 8-9 right now? With all those callers?
Now the question is Barry going to still get involved here?
No, and I think Barry correctly said it, because I should have raised the flop. When he didn't raise the flop, now you got to throw it away. Problem is you have
Barry's going to call.
Problem is you have Barbecue John behind it, and Barry's got some outs. Barry needs a 10 or a 9.
His pot is at $2,300 to the river. And the river is an 8, and Barry makes 2 pair, but Jay's got queens up.
And it might have wait a second.
And look at this, it gets checked by Jay. And is Barry think he's betting because he has the best hand here with 2 pair?
I don't think he's bluffing. I think he's betting because he thinks he can get maybe a call out of a 10.
Barry bets 1,000, and Jay's trying to piece it back in his head. Does Barry have a 9 here? Did he call with 10-9 on the flop?
It's not far-fetched, is he? Wait, couldn't Barry also have a heart draw with a 9 in his hand?
Potty's now 3,300. It's 1,000 to call.
6-9 or 6-8?
Wow, look at that. Well, he says 6-9 or 6-8.
And it's pretty close, and he's going to call.
Jay calls. Well, the funny thing is that, it's really interesting because you wouldn't figure I mean, it's interesting that Jay said 6'9" or 6'8" as he takes in over a $5,000 pot. You wouldn't figure that somebody would bet 6'8" or 10'8" there on the river, would you?
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, I don't really hate the bet by Barry. There's no reason for you to put Jay on a queen, right? Jay bet once, Jay bet twice. Maybe you think he's got a 10, maybe he's got ace 10, king 10. Now, when he checks the river, you can probably say, you know what, this guy's probably got a 10. Let me see if I can put a little value bet in there. Just happens to be 2-pair over 2-pair.
So it's an interesting river scenario for Jay where...
It really is.
You know, you're checking, and you might be calling an intended value bet by your opponent that you actually beat some hands that he would bet for value there.
Yeah, I just don't think, I mean, do you think Barry was bluffing there?
No,
okay.
No, I think he bet for value.
Yeah. And I got to think, I might bet for value there, too.
Look at this raise by Barbecue John, and Jay has come over the top here. We can't see what he has. Russ is going to call the raise and the re-raise with ace-7 suited.
And we see this all the time with Jay. Jay kind of like, he sits in a slumber for a while and then he wakes up.
Jay re-raised with king 10, and he's against two opponents here for $900. Queen 5 deuce, all clubs.
So if
Horrible
he follows
flop for
through,
everybody.
he's going to win it. No, we'll check the rounds.
The round. Now let's see if he bets. John still has the best hand in seat 2.
He also has the only club in his hand.
And Jay's going to bet.
And I got to tell you, I think that's going to be enough to get Barbecue John out of the hands.
He's going to bet 700, little under the size of the pot here.
Yeah, clearly Russ can't call.
I don't really know what Russ is doing. You know, a couple people on the boards, Dave said, you know, yeah, and Jay takes it down. He started winning now, and now he's almost playing a little bit weaker than he did in the beginning of the show. I mean, a raise by Barbecue John, a re-raise by Jay, and now you're going to call with ace-7. We went over that last night about how deep do you actually have to be with ace-rag suited against your opponent to make a big pot?
Yeah,
I mean, the chances of that happening are so slim.
I agree with you. I mean,
you know,
the interesting thing
from up front, too.
We saw Russ earlier, and as much as Russ has really improved his game, you stepped out of the booth for a second, and Russ actually raised it up first position with ace-7 offsuit. And that's a hand where not only am I not raising it out of position, I'm not even in the pot. I'm not even calling $50. Now, our Stars and Stripes event is going on right now. Today's tournament, actually, is a $300 no-limit tournament with no rebuys. We had 261 entries. Prize pool of over $78,000. Wow, first place was about $30,000.
Now, this is interesting. Paul limped in an early position here with ace-queen suited, and Barbecue John is raised to 350, and Paul just easily folds there in seat 7.
Well, that's Paul. I mean, he's certainly going to be focused, and he's paying attention to who's at the table.
Looks like Paul, I don't know if we can get a shot of his chip rack over there, but it looks like he bought in for quite a bit over there.
Yeah.
He's got, what, 8,000 there? Four stacks?
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
8,500 maybe.
Well, you know, he's already down 7,000. He figures, hey, I got to double up just to break even now.
Going to have a chip count coming up here, Dave.
Wow, almost 70,000 on the table now. Russ is up to almost 20,000. Avo's still over 10. Jay over 9. Paul up to 8. Surprised Jay only has 9? Yeah, I was going to say, Jay's got to have a lot more than that. Yeah, and kind of mix up on those. Let's see how they're doing. And Russ is up 12.5. Jay is actually up closer to, like, I'd say 7,000 or 8,000 now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mo's up also, and nobody else is up.
Now, is that updated from when he won Queens? Because he's at the same amount that he was down. 9.55 here on the flop. Wow, Barry's got Jack 9 and Avo's got Ace Jack. I think that Avo raised pre-flop. Barry checked the flop. King came on the turn, and this might scare Barry away, even though he still has the best hand with Jack 9.
Yeah, this is Avo for you. Avo is going to, like, pick his spots. He doesn't just play it
and Barry
right by the book.
And is Avo going to represent a king here? The river's a 10, or is Avo just going to give up? He knows that Barry Woods, and look at this, Avo just gives up. I mean, we had that hand, Dave, where Barry called him with, I think it was the 7-high flush draw many, many months ago.
Yeah.
He knows that, you know, if he's going to put the pressure on somebody with a scared card coming, it might not be Barry Woods.
Right. I agree with you. Now, we got an email here from Luke. He says, hey, guys, pause the show. I got to go grab some fast food.
Some Wendy's.
Some Wendy's.
It's funny in L.A., you know, there's only a couple of Wendy's around. Right where I used to kind of live up there in Hollywood, La Brea and Sunset. And then I think there's one in Venice, and that's it for the whole city.
Well, tell Luke what he can do if he misses the show because he has to get some Wendy's.
We can watch the replay that's on starting an hour after the show, running up until 5 p.m. tomorrow, or you can sign up for the archives and catch it and manipulate the stream. Check out the replay on Sunday afternoon as well.
Get a raise here from Avo in seat number 1. And seat number 4 calls here with a suited ace.
Yeah, Avo brought in with King Queen here.
And Alex is
and
going
Russ
to call.
has called the raise with Jack 5 suited on the button here, Dave. I'm a little bit puzzled here as to what Russ is doing. I mean, he's loosening his game up, but...
You know, we've seen this sometimes from some players where they loosen up their game a little bit. It's like loosening up the belt, and then the pants fall off.
Ace, King 8 here, a couple diamonds. Nice flop for Jonas.
Yeah, it really is.
Straight draw, flush draw.
Yeah, Jonas needs a 10 or a diamond to have the nuts.
Now, Avo checked the king, and Alex is going to throw $225 bet out here, and let's see what Jonas is going to do. He's going to check call. I mean, is this a big enough draw where he doesn't want to drive people out? And here we go to the turn.
Well, there's really no value. If you raise out your opponents, you need to hit a hand, obviously. You're probably up against an ace.
Jonas checks, and Alex continues to bet. He bets 500. Maybe, again, Jonas was thinking that maybe
How
Alex...
big is the pot?
Well, the pot now, it was about an $800 pot. He bets 500, so it's 1,300, 500 to call.
And Jonas is going to call this. Figures with the implied odds. I got a call. And there's a diamond.
Yep, there it is.
And now it's time to value bet for Jonas. Now, the funny thing is that Jonas would
He's going to bet
represent...
2,000.
I've seen Jonas, and you've seen Jonas, call with absolutely nothing, hoping for a diamond just so he could represent. And Alex has put to the test here. Against anybody else, it's an easy laydown. But against Jonas...
Well, you got to start thinking through Jonas. Jonas is a good player. Is he going to check call me with a dry flush draw, 2 streets? Probably not. Obviously, though, in this case, Jonas had other things working.
Right, I mean, but I'll throw this at you. Would Jonas call with, say, an ace? Would Jonas call with, say, a king
and
to
represent
diamonds as well? And he figures, well, if I hit 2 pair, I'm good. If I hit diamonds, I can represent diamonds.
The other thing that might have been going through Jonas's head is maybe Alex checks the turn there on an ace as well with a weak ace.
And how much did Jonas bet? I mean, he bet like 2,000.
Bet 2,000 into a pot that's about 2,000. He's actually betting the pot.
But that's a big bet in the river, though, when you're looking for a call. Once again, we see a good player almost over-betting the pot, trying to make it look like a steal. We saw it work for Jay before, and I would not be surprised at all if Alex called this. Now, Alex can't really beat anything but a bluff.
It's a $4,000 pot, about 2,000 for Alex to call.
Alex can only beat a pure bluff. He can't even beat a real ace. Alex's 6 doesn't even play. Alex has got aces with a king 8-7.
That's right. And he gets rid of it.
He throws it away. And Jonas is going to make a mental note of that. He looks at it. He knows that Alex had an ace there, and he's going to make a mental note of that, and he's going to say, okay, next time I can represent diamonds on this guy. I can represent the flush and get him off an ace.
Button moves over here to seat 6.
Then we're seeing some posts about Russ. You were talking about that, and it's always funny. We see a lot of players do that. They kind of go from that transition from tight player to start loosening up, and then suddenly they get too loose. Russ is a pretty smart guy, though. I'm sure he'll figure out what's working for him and what's not.
Raise here by Avo. And look at this. Alex is going to pull the limp re-raise with King 10. Like you said, Dave, some of these guys, the little steam factor here. And you wonder, now is Avo going to call? He raised at 300 with ace-queen. Again, this is not a hand you like to call all in with.
No, but
does Avo take into account the fact that Alex could be steaming here a little bit?
You got to realize this guy just lost a big pot, and I think Avo might call. He's pretty good at reading other players.
Well, there's 900 dead in the middle, and it's another 2,000 for him to call. So it's a $2,900 pot.
Getting 1.5 to 1.
2,000 to call. Yeah, about 1.5 to 1 here.
Well, it's one of those times you go, okay, there's a chance Alex is steaming. There's a chance maybe he's got a small pocket pair. Is there a chance maybe, as long as he doesn't have ace-king, aces or kings, okay.
Or queens.
Or queens, right. I'm in okay shape.
Right.
Even queens, I'm only a 2 to 1 dog.
Now, Alex has not pulled this move here, but like you said, with, kind of the history that we've seen him, he plays well 95% of the time, and then, he tends to almost steam off his money, kind of like a Sylvester that we see on the show.
I don't want to stereotype, but I've seen a lot of these really, really good young Asian players, and they're all very good players. They're all attuned, but they seem to go on, they seem to tilt. I mean, he made a good laydown against Jonas. He did nothing wrong.
Right.
Makes a really good laydown, saves $2,000, and here he's just trying to throw it away.
And Avo's going to call.
And unless Alex gets really lucky, he's going to lose his entire buy-in.
And this is going to be a $5,000 board run, ace-queen against king-10. And there's the queen. Alex is going to need to catch running diamonds or king.
Well,
there's
wow.
one diamond, a king or a diamond.
No.
Oh, and the river's a 6.
And, you know, it's nice to see Avo rewarded for a good call there.
Oh, man, I almost wet my pants there for a second.
That's so much more information than I need to know. Nice call by Avo. Avo, really, that's a really nice read by him. We saw earlier Barry made a laydown. He laid down ace-queen against Jonas, not thinking that this guy could be steaming. And just like that, Alex is down 5K.
And he's going to rebuy here, Dave.
Man, now I got to pee. This is awful. Jeez.
Button's moved over here to Paul. He's going to pick up ace-queen offsuit on the button. He's going to raise it up to 300. Couple limpers in front. Alex gets away from it. Barry has a little gap-suited connector that he limped in with. He's not going to take that heads up against Paul. Paul's going to take it down there. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. If you haven't already, you can sign up for the archives. Check out our website, liveatthebike.com. Upper left-hand corner of the screen, the on-demand banner. You can also check out a lot of other features that we have at that table, or at that on the left-hand side of the website. Looks like Mo is getting up. We're going to see a new player in seat 8. I think it's Tournament Tony. Tournament Tony is going to be coming into seat 7. And Tournament Tony and Dave have a long history. I'm sure Dave will clue us in with that when he comes back. Barry's going to raise it up here to 150 with King Jack. Offsuit. Again, we had a big tournament today, Stars and Stripes. $300 no limit, no rebuys. I think there was about 400 people that entered. 261 people, excuse me. First prize was nearly 30,000. Three-way action here. About a $500 pot, King 7-10. Barry brought this one in with King Jack. He's hit top pair. Now Alex is open-ended with backdoor clubs. Barry bets 300. And Alex calls. And I don't know how deep Alex is there. It doesn't look like he has many chips. The turn is an 8. Alex, we're getting word, bought for 6,000. Alex checks, and Barry bets again. Bets 700. He's got the Jack of Spades draw in his hand. And Alex calls again with Queen Jack. Here we go to the river. The river's a 10. Barry is good. This might go check, check, and it does. And Barry is going to take down about another $2,500 pot right there. Check call on the flop from Alex. Check call on the turn from Alex. With 3 spades out there. I mean, if the river is a 9 of spades, it's no good. If the river is an ace of spades, it's no good for Alex. Button moves over here to Avo in seat 1. So again, Tournament Tony coming into seat 7. Avo has the button in his hands. You know, Dave, I'm going to tell you, I mean, Alex just burnt off some more chips, kind of on a badly misplayed hand right before he came back in here.
Yeah.
Check calling an open-ended straight draw. Queen Jack. Third spade came on the turn. He still check called. And Barry had top pair and took it down.
How big was the pot?
What a $2,500 pot.
Wow.
Now Jonas has raised it up here with to 200 with deuce 5 of clubs. Alex calls with ace 4 of hearts, and Tournament Tony's in there with king 5 of hearts. 9-5 deuce.
Oh, 5 deuce. There you go. Jonas has got 2 pair.
Bottom 2 pair, and he's going to bet 400. Now is Tony going to get involved here with king 5?
It's not a real good flop for king 5, is it?
Yeah, but we know Tony. He calls. And here we go to the turn. The turn,
Oh!
King and Tony picks up kings up.
Oh, man. I
He
guess
checks, and I think Jonas is going to really push here.
Well,
Let's
Jonas
see.
has got a flush draw with 2 pair.
He moves all in. He's going to move all in here.
All the money's in there,
And
folks.
Tony called, and here we go to the river. The river's a 3, and Tony's going to win it with kings up.
Oh, man.
Wow, look at the turn card for Jonas. 2 pair and a flush draw.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, actually, I guess we're getting word here. The action was Jonas bet, Tony check raised all in. Jonas instantly called. That was
Instantly
the
called
action.
with 2 pair
Yeah.
and a flush draw.
And Tony wins about an $8,000 pot there. Those are $5,000 chips there, by
Yeah,
the
we
way.
get close to those $5,000, $1,000 chips. He's now got probably close to, what, 20,000 on the table now?
Wow.
What did Mo got up,
Yeah.
letting Tony play over him?
I was telling the viewers, Dave, that you and Tournament Tony seem to have a little history going in cash games on the side here, late night at the bike.
Yeah, but unlike my history with, like, say, somebody who I get in verbal altercations with, Tony has a lot of respect for me. I have a
Right.
lot of respect for Tony. We just seem to always tangle up in big hands. But it's one of those things where we kind of always joke around. Like, I'll sit down at the table. He goes, "Oh, good, you still owe me $3,000, Tuckman. You're going to give it back to me today?" And we kind of play around with each other.
Yeah, just like I owe you $3,000, right?
Yes, you do. Now you owe me $2,600.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping a tally.
Wow, ace-king here for seat 4, Alex.
Oh, ace-queen
And
for Barry.
ace-queen for Barry. Barry makes it 175. Let's see if Alex might come. And look at this. Paul calls in between with 7-4 clubs.
Hey, now this would be a time if you're Alex, make it look like a steam and move all in.
Well, he's actually got 6,000 behind.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
he's
okay.
not on the short stack.
I thought he had like 1,500.
Yeah. He's got
Oh, okay.
6,000 behind. The chips aren't on the table here.
I thought he had like 1,500. I'm like, 1,500. Oh.
Oh, look at this. The ace comes out, and Alex has Barry, and Alex is going to check ace-king. The pot is already about 600, and Barry's going to bet 600. Let's see how Alex is going to play this. I don't think Barry's going anywhere.
No, I mean, now Paul is open. Paul's got a double gutter.
Yeah, Paul's
A
going
deuce or a
to
six.
call with the double gutter, and let's see if Alex is going to throw the check raise in here now. He's got 6,000
The
more.
only interesting thing is now that Paul calls this, I almost put Paul on ace-king. I mean, but if you're Alex here, you've got to push this flop now.
He's still waiting for chips. It's been like 20 minutes.
Well, they're actually making them.
Again, he's about 6,000 or 5,000 more, I think he has coming.
Wow, and I got to tell you, with Tony at this table and him having $6,000 more, we probably have close to $100,000 on the table.
And he's going to raise 2,000 more. And
Wow.
he's got 3,700 left, he says.
And I got to tell you, it's really tough for Barry to get away from this here. Alex has been tilting for the last, say, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'd probably pay him off 2 if I have ace-queen. The only thing that might save him is Paul called behind me. And what did Paul call me with?
I mean, this pot is now, it's 2,000 more here. The pot is now 4,400. 2,000 for Barry to call, and I believe Alex has 3,700 left.
Yeah, I mean, can you get away from ace-queen here? If you're in specifically his spot here,
Well, Barry's going to call. He's not going to get away from it.
and Paul's going to throw away.
Well, wait a minute. Is Paul going to throw it away? Now, there is 2 diamonds out
Yeah,
there.
I don't.
But now the pot continues to get bigger and bigger. He has kind of one of those hidden draws.
He does. The only problem with his draw, though, is it's 2 diamonds out there.
I know that. I think
How does he know somebody's not raising with a draw or Barry's not betting with a draw?
now with the rainbow board, I think he probably makes the call with the double gutter. The pot is ballooned up to 6,400.
I mean, now Paul's a seasoned pro. I mean, he's the Turkey at this table. He's certainly not going to make a mistake in the sense of, I couldn't imagine some players will, if they're down, think of this as their kind of get-out-of-jail-free card.
I got to tell you though, I mean, would Alex make this play with a diamond draw? Now I know
He
he's
did it earlier.
scheming against 2 people. Would he,
He
do
did it. Exactly. He did it early with Jack 9 of hearts, remember?
Yeah.
Barry, actually, I'm sorry, it was Russ betting, Mo raised, and then Alex moved on with Jack 9 of hearts.
No, I know.
So, yes, he would.
Now that was on a paired board though. He's representing a 4.
You're saying would he do this with diamond draw? Yeah, he would.
I just think it's a different situation, especially with Paul in the hand here.
I still think, I think if Paul calls, I'm wondering, and
And
this
he's
call,
going to make the call. And this pot is $8,400. I'm going to tell you, I know it's dangerous, but I actually don't necessarily mind the call. And Alex is all in blind here for another $3,700. This makes this pot $12,400. The turn is a 3, but a $12,500 pot. Alex has moved in blind on the turn.
Yeah, and Barry's in really bad shape here. And Barry's going to need a 3, a queen,
And like you
or
said,
an ace.
I think Barry, what might save him is the fact that Paul's in there.
Yeah, jeez.
I mean, Paul is in there. I might probably would have gotten away from it on the flop.
Really? You really throw it away in the flop? I mean, that's a heck of a laydown if you throw it away in the flop. I don't know if I can get away from that on the flop. At this point,
Now, how much is it more here? Well, actually, I'm getting worried it's only 1,700. Oh, he had 3,700 total before.
Right.
Okay.
see, at this point here, now that Paul has called that $2,000 bet,
Yeah.
at this point, I almost feel like I cannot call with ace-queen.
Well, the pot now is 10,500, and Barry's actually going to re-raise all in here, and he is drawing close to dead. Well, that's going to get Paul out, but Alex, unless he gets incredibly unlucky.
Now, you see that Alex, once Paul folds this, which well, you never know, actually. The pot is a huge number,
Well-
and Paul might be looking at this as Paul is down about $6,000, $7,000.
Well, let's do some math out here. I mean, the pot was 10,500. Barry calls the 1,700. Over 12,000. How much
12,200.
more? How much more is it here from Barry? How much more? Come on, somebody at the table, tell me how much more.
And we're trying to get word of how much more it is. He's not going to call.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's 700 more, obviously. All he did is protect Alex's hand. He needs a queen, ace, or three. Nope,
River's a jack.
not going to do it.
Alex
Alex
is gonna
doubles
double
up,
through, yep.
just like that. One hand, one pair.
Ace king. There it is.
And we talk about the danger of ace-queen. It's a very vulnerable hand. And in no-limit hold'em, you've got to really be careful when you raise with hands like ace-queen or ace-jack, because oftentimes people will just smooth call you with ace-king.
Right.
And if you get played back at, I mean, you've got to realize there, the board is ace-5-3. Now I'm gonna give Barry a pass there because there's a good chance Alex was steaming. The problem is those Paul's behind him.
Well, let me ask you this question. Thinking really, really advanced, is there any way that Barry re-raises all in there, thinking that, again, that he has Alex beat and gets Paul off of ace-king or off of ace-queen, which is the same hand?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what maybe I don't mind the play by Barry in the turn. Either that or laying it down. I don't mind it. If you start thinking of, maybe...
If Barry calls there, I think Paul might call behind him. Paul's
Maybe.
almost he's getting 8 or 9 to 1 with 8 outs with one card to come.
Yeah, he might call that.
I mean, the board is now paired, and there still is 2 diamonds.
I'm going to throw this at you. What happens if seat number 4, what happens if Alex had like king deuce of diamonds, right? He had some sort of gut shot with a diamond draw, which is probably a hand big enough that he'd make a move with there. Well, now the board pairs are 3, and if you can get out Paul, who might have you beat with ace-king, if you can get him out, well, then your head's up against the flush draw, and then maybe you do win the pot.
Barbecue John's going to raise here. He's going to make it 300 more. Re-raising, it looks like, I believe, a couple limpers are raising. And he's gonna
That's
take it
classic, I'm sorry. Pojato on 2+2 says, chip counts brought to you by Enron, confirmed by Arthur Anderson. And I challenge anybody to go out on the floor and try to do the chip counts. Try asking a guy who just lost an $8,000 pot how much money he has in front of him. See what he does to you.
Button moves over here to seat 4. And look at this. Jay's going to raise it up here to 175 with Jack 5 off suit. Now, Russ looks like he's coming in. He's going to make the call. We haven't seen him play in a little bit. He's going to call with maybe pocket 4s. Yeah, pocket 4s. And Barry's in there with ace-9. Might Barry be a little bit on tilt?
Yeah, well,
Flop comes out. Queen 6-7. Let's see if Jay can continue on here.
I mean, that's part of the game. Keeping your emotions out of your decision-making is really a part of this game.
Gets checked around.
Oh, Barry's open-ended here now.
Turn is an 8.
If Barry bets it, he'll probably take it down.
This
And
is
Russ
third-
has got the highest diamond.
Third diamond, and Russ is going to come out and bet with pocket 4s here.
Well, there you go.
He's going to bet 450.
And Barry's not going to get involved, and I like the play. I mean, Barry's got a hand where he can bet with. He certainly can't call a bet. And Russ takes it down. Nothing gets you off tilt better than winning a big hand. And I got to tell you, that's just a little bit of unlucky hand there for Barry. I can't even speak English. Having ace-queen, falling into ace-king, flopping the ace. And it happened to be against Alex.
And we've got about an hour left in the show here. Well, if he's gonna shoot over there, why don't you switch to the camera? I think we're showing it. Ray's like zooming around, zooming in on some girls out there on the floor. Thanks, Ray. I got a kick out of it.
Seeing this limped around here. Barry's going to toss his quarter in there. Filipino Tony is going to tap the table. We're going to see this 5 ways. $250 pot. Ace, ace, deuce. Trip aces for Barry. Oh, wow. And trip aces for Avo. And right now, the 8 will play. Avo's in good shape here.
Well, Barry's going to lead out, but Barry has to know, he watches this show enough, and he's heard from us, that ace-7, if you get any type of heat from this, you might be just in check call mode.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that Barry's betting right into it, though.
Yeah, now let's see how Avo's going to play. There's 2 clubs out there.
Well, I mean, Avo's got to realize that his hand is not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 1 notch higher.
Yeah.
Looks like no, he's going to min raise here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes
And Barry's moving all in immediately.
Well, and that really puts Avo to the test.
Well, I mean, Barry, one thing about this is it's a limped pot. Barry is in the blind. So it's almost like if he's got a random ace, can Avo call here?
Well, the
kind of
funny
brings
thing
you
is
back to this, like,
the
under the gun question.
The funny thing is the random ace, I think, like 7.5 or 8 is pretty much the exact median,
Right.
isn't it?
So it looks like it's another
I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1,700. The pot, I think Avo's getting about 2 to 1 here. It's about a $3,400 pot. He's getting a little less than 2 to 1.
Well, I mean,
and he makes the call.
Yeah, there are 6 cards less than Avo's hand and 5 higher. So
turns a jack,
and this could get chopped up.
Yep.
Trip aces, jack.
And here we go to the river. River's a 10, and they're going to chop it up.
Chop it up.
Obviously, you know, Barry was a little bit short that hand.
Yeah, both players, you play your best 5 cards.
Yep.
So trip aces, jack 10.
Email here from Drew saying about Jay's overbetting that pot against Paul. He was saying that in past episodes, he's really seen Jay put heat on, say, a 3-flush board, trying to really bluff at it. And he was wondering if Jay was going to overbet the same way with a made hand. In this case, he did.
Yeah.
Nice hand.
It's one of the reasons why Jay's a dangerous player. He'll often overbet his bluffs and his made hands. Well, that's good. We're getting this email here from Jason. Jason says, when Bart begins screaming like a girl in heat, my bitch starts howling. He says, not my girlfriend, but my dog. Well, maybe Jason can set up a date for you and his dog.
Oh, there you go. Or if his dog is male, he can set it up with your dog, who's also male.
That would be fabulous.
Right?
You know what? My gay dog has been looking for a boyfriend for quite a while. It's actually really hard to meet.
Can't find the gay dogs at the dog park?
It's difficult.
Up in Burbank?
And that whole sniffing butt thing gets really old after a couple of years. It's funny, just now we're getting a couple of posts on 2+2 saying, I had a feeling that guy Alex in seat 4 wouldn't make it. And now, what are we going to see 2 minutes from now when we see that hand?
Has that hand come up on the delay yet? Or is it right in the middle of it, Ronnie? Yeah, it's right in the middle of it. Button's moved over here to seat 7. Barry Wood's got an ace deuce. He's going to limp in. Tournament Tony limps in. It's going to be limped around. Calling that, right? Tournament Tony?
Tournament Tony, Filipino Tony.
4-way action. King, Jack, 9 with a couple spades. Missed everybody. Checked around, it looks like, on the flop. Turns a 10. Nobody has a queen. No one has a spade. Well, Jonas has got the deuce of spades. River's a jack. Ace high here, Paul and Barry, if this goes to showdown, is going to win.
Man, what an ugly, ugly board. I mean, you look at that board, and nobody has a pair?
Chop it up. Barry and Paul, I believe.
Yeah. Once again, your best 5-card hand. Both players have jacks, ace, king, 10.
Button moves over here to Paul in seat 8.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hanson. You can catch us every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. Tomorrow night's show will be pot limit hold'em, 10-20 blinds. Friday's show will be no limit hold'em, 10-20 blinds.
Now, we talk about no limit, how it's important to build a pot up, but I got to tell you, like, say Jack's Full of Force there, Russ against Barbecue John, it's critical to build a pot up, right?
Yeah,
Pot
of course.
limit.
Obviously, in pot limit, yeah, pot control is huge in that game.
Yeah.
Or pot building.
Barry's going to bet, or he's going to raise it up 125 with 7-5 offsuit. Jay Katsutani's got the same hand, and Jonas is in there with deuce 4 spades.
Nobody's got higher than a 7, huh?
6-3-6.
Well, they all have wheel draw. They all have straight draws.
I thought for a second it was 6-3-4. That would have been something, huh? And Barry's going to make a $300 continuation bet here.
I make a move on this top, but I haven't been able to shoot on one winning hand all night after I talked to him. Make the move.
Jonas is out of there. And wow, Jay, he's going to call like a backdoor clubs as well
He's
here.
free rolling.
Turn to queen.
Well, this is going to go chop unless
Jay checks.
somebody lays it down.
Barry going to check behind him.
I think it's a clear bet here because if you were trying to represent big cards, why not use the queen as a bet?
Well, it went check, check. River's a queen. Wow.
And both players have the same hand. Queens and sixes with a 7 kicker.
But the problem now for Jay is that he probably doesn't think he can bluff Barry off of an ace here at the end. Maybe not, you know? I mean, would Barry lay down an ace in this spot? That's what I would be thinking. And I think Barry thinks he needs to bet. And he is going to bet. He's going to move
He's
in.
moving all in.
He's moving in.
Oh, there you go. You know, the funny thing is, what do you put... Now I'm going to throw this at you.
What do you put
What do
Barry
you put
on?
Jay... No, what do you put Jay on
Oh.
if you're Barry? What do you think he called you with?
Maybe 4-5.
Okay, then why are you betting?
Well, you don't necessarily want him for some reason to accidentally. Would you check that down with 7-5, saying,
just-
you know what, I'm going
I
to win
don't-
it with 7-5?
I don't know. I'm not in Barry's seat, but I'm just wondering, what do you put Jay on? Now, I bet he called me. What do you put him on? I mean, I'll throw the reverse question on. Does Jay call with an ace? Or does Jay call with a bigger pair than sixes?
Right.
Does Jay call with nines? Probably. Does Jay call with an ace? Jay might call with an ace. There's no other draw out there.
Button moves over here to Jonas.
And that's the only question I'm wondering is, what do you think Jay has? When you're making that move, if you're Barry and you're moving all in, what do you put your opponent on?
Well, I mean, I know it's a good question, but we know the answer that you're going to that Barry's going to say when you say that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's always been the answer when we've asked him about what he puts a hand on somebody on a certain
Yeah.
street.
I mean, that's the only question I'm wondering is when you move all in there, you're thinking, well, I can't possibly win at 7 high. I'd better try to steal his pot. Well, you better think, what can I get my opponent off of when I'm moving in there?
10-6-6 here. It's missed everybody. It was limped around here. Turns a jack.
Still nobody has anything.
We can't see Jonas's hand. He's on the button. River's an ace.
Yep, and Avo's got the best hand there with king.
Well, Jonas is in the hand, but we can't see it.
Oh.
Well,
I mean,
obviously it doesn't
mucks.
play.
And I don't think the 8 plays. No, it does not. Both players have a pair of sixes, ace, king, jack.
Ray, did Jonas just give you a little flack? Well, he is down quite a bit of money. He might be a little...
Give who some flag?
Ray.
Oh, really?
I think Ray told Jonas to show the cards, and he said, I'll show him. And put him in the muck.
You know, I mean, obviously it's a fine line, you know. Obviously we're doing a show, but at the same time, these guys, you have to understand that sometimes these guys are going to get a little sensitive. You
Yeah.
lose $10,000 in a couple hours, and tell me how you feel. Now, I know Ronnie and Isaac, $10,000 is nothing to them, so they'd still be them friendly selves.
Button moves over here to seat 1. $150 raise here.
And it looks like we're going to play Jonas in the dark for 5 minutes while he, I guess, has his little temper tantrum.
Yeah, we can't see what he has.
Well, we'll play the guessing game with Jonas for a couple minutes. We'll indulge him. Why not?
Well, Jay has got king 8 offsuit.
Alex did not call it ace-6.
Yep.
And
Jonas takes it down.
Jonas takes it down. Jay not going to defend there with the king 8, and I can't blame him.
take a look at another.
Well, it looks like we got $90,000 on the table now. Barbecue John only got $2,000.
And Tony, wow. Let's
Wow.
take a look at the differences here.
Yeah, a lot of money on that table, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ up 12,000, Jay up 9,000, Tony up 4,300.
Is Jonas still only down 7,000?
I'm not sure. We got word that he was down 10. Well, I think Jonas is rebought, so he's in for 10,000, and he has about 3. So I think he's down about 7,000, 7,400 maybe.
Okay.
Obviously, we're not trying to keep score in the sense of for tax purposes.
Right. Just for the purposes of it.
Exactly. So, but I mean, as of right now, it's pretty obvious. I mean, Russ is obviously up a lot of money. Jason's obviously up a lot of money. Avo's up a lot of money, and Filipino Tony's up a lot of money. The rest of the table is down. Jonas and Paul being the big losers so far tonight.
Jay Katsutani's going to bring it in for a raise here on the button. He's got 8-9 of clubs. Going to break it up for 150.
Barbecue John going to call out of position with a king jack.
And Russ is in there with queen jack.
Yeah, and those are trouble hands. And there's the queen, though.
Russ outflops everyone. And Russ did not lead out, and it gets checked around.
Yeah.
Turns a jack, and now Russ makes 2 pair, and Barbecue John catches a jack. And it gets and Russ does not bet on queen jack here on the turn.
How about a 10?
What about a diamond on the river? The river's a 9.
I was thinking, how about a 10 and Jay backs into a straight?
And now Barbecue John is going to come out and bet probably for value on the jack.
Why not?
Russ calls.
What, were they all expecting Jay to bet? They were all just going, oh, come on, Jay, bet for me, bet for me.
Wow.
And Russ takes down about, about a $1,000 pot.
Lost a lot of money taking a break.
Butt moves over here to seat 4.
I don't believe you lost spot tonight, bro.
Alex, who is now almost even, right?
I think it's at least even. I mean, he won. Remember, he rebought for 6,000. He doubled up, right? Actually, doubled up more than doubled up because Paul called the first $2,000 bet.
Limp. Raise here by Jason. He's got ace king of diamonds in the cutoff. And he's going to take it down here without a flop.
Take it down, Jay. And I got to tell you, Jay's one of those guys. Now, he had a real tough go of it on Friday night. We didn't get to see him on the show, but he lost a lot of money, mostly to my Corporation Mike on Friday night. But Jay, more often than not, wins this game, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
I mean, I really like Jay's game. And one thing that's really common in Jay's game, he almost always sits and watches the first hour. Kind of like, I think, getting a feel for the game, getting a feel for how everybody's playing, getting to know his opponents. Kind of like Maverick, Remember that movie with Maverick with Mel Gibson? When he says, I promise I'll
Western,
lose.
right?
Yeah, I promise all I'll do is lose the first hour playing poker.
Right.
With Jodie Foster. And it's kind of like Jay's, because I promise I won't play a hand the first hour.
Jay Katsutani's going to raise. He's got ace king again.
Okay.
Makes it 125 to go.
And Ray actually correctly points out, he actually says, Jay always seems to eat dinner at the beginning of the show, kind of laying low, getting a feel for the table. But sure enough, he's up about $5,000, $6,000 tonight.
Jonas is in the big blind here.
Yep.
But
Once again, we're going to play in the blind with Jonas, I guess.
Play his hand blind. Pocket aces here for Hollywood Russ in seat 5. Always nice to see.
Yeah, I like him. Oh, and Jay is going to raise it
Yeah,
here.
Jay's going to raise it up here. He's going to make it 200. What does he have?
Russ is going to...
He's got king, queen.
Yeah, and Russ is going to play it a little slow. I think he just called.
Yeah, he's smooth called here with aces.
Yeah, and Russ likes to do that once in a while. And Russ is just praying everybody else folds.
Now, Jonas is in there, so we'll play his hand blind. So we got 3-way action for a $600 pot. Here we go to the flop. Well, 5-5-3 here.
Well, Jay doesn't have anything, but we're not sure about Jonas.
Well, it gets checked over to Russ.
And I think it's an easy bet for Russ. You can't slow play this. He does.
Checked it. The turn's a 6. Jonas has got 6-9. He picks up a pair now on the turn.
I just don't understand how you slow play that. Now, if Russ had the ace of diamonds in his hands, it makes it a little bit more.
Russ bets 300 now.
I know he's trying to get some action on his aces from these aggressive players, but sometimes the best way to get action is to actually bet your hand and let these players make a move on you. I mean, Russ made the most money tonight. He doubled up when he had ace-deuce because he actually bet the ace-deuce, and Jonas made a move on him.
Jonas folds.
And Jay's knocking. I don't think Jay's going to get involved here, is he?
I got you an ace-jack, huh?
Well, that's good.
Well, ace-jack beats your king-queen, either way.
But you can't beat ace-jack, huh, Jay?
And Jonas says it, yeah. And Russ takes it down, and he's not going to show, is he?
Yeah, he's going to show. Oh, man, that gives him so much information.
So much.
To Jonas and Jay there.
Why would you want to give information?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, don't you love it if you're like, I mean, you got to be scared of, now, if your head's up, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But Jonas is in there also. Aren't you scared of a diamond? Aren't you scared of, say, a 6, a 4, a 7? Maybe somebody makes a straight. Are you prepared to go broke with aces?
I had him
here?
on thinking that he's got 2 habitual bluffers in front of him, so might as well check the bluffs, and one of us is bluffing him on the turn.
Oh, that's exactly what Jonas says there.
How about 1.5? Which one's the half?
Button moves over here to Paul. Man, it looks like Barry's going to raise it up here to 200. Interesting email here. I'll get to in a second. I don't think we're necessarily qualified to answer. Or I'm at least not.
He goes off, he's
Not qualified?
you bluff one freaky. He doesn't care about
Get to it in a
numbers. He doesn't
second.
care
Okay.
about
Pocket fives against Queen Jack. Heads up.
Oh, hey, if you're not going to hit a set with your 5s, it's not a bad flop. He's open-ended. 6-4-3 out there.
Barry, he checks, and Barry bets here. Bets 400.
I like the bet by Barry. You know what? More often than not, Barbecue John is going to check. You're going to bet, and he's going to fold.
Check, call. Turns of 4. 5s are still good here. Check, check. And the river's an ace. Can Barry use that?
Well, Barry's not going to take a shot at it.
No. You wonder if Barry bet there on the river would Barbecue John call.
Oh, I think if Barry bets the river, I think there's no way Barbecue John calls. But
Yeah.
how did Barry know that?
How do you guys play King Jack, Queen Jack, Jack 10 offsuit in middle position with? Oh, this is the reason why I thought it was a Omaha pot limit, Omaha high question.
Oh, I see.
Because
what you mean.
because I saw the guy's subject name.
Right. Oh, I get
But it's
you.
actually a Hold'em question. That's when I said I don't actually play a lot of Omaha high.
Oh,
So-
okay. I got you.
I thought he said, how do you play King Jack, Jack 10 in mid position?
Right.
0 limpers. But he's talking about how do you play King Jack, Queen Jack, or Jack 10 offsuit in middle position with 0 limpers. Well, out of all those hands, I actually like Jack 10 the most, probably.
Yeah, it really depends on the game you're playing.
Yeah.
Am I playing in a game like this? Am I playing in a really passive game? Am I
Right.
playing in a really aggressive game? Who's behind me? Who's in the blinds?
Got a limp here by Alex. And the only other person is in the blind here. And Barbecue John's got a queen, and he checked it. And Alex checks right behind him. Turn is a 6, and now both players have heart draws.
And I imagine Barbecue John's going to put some money in the pot, and he does.
Bets 150. Well, I got to tell you, if Barbecue John checks me, I would think it's almost an automatic mandatory bet there on the flop.
Yeah, I almost always bet it.
Here we go to the river. The river's a jack.
And Barbecue John, luckily for him, does not.
Hit his hearts.
Yeah.
That's 175.
And look at that kind of like, call me bet.
I mean, I would probably bet there on the flop if I was Alex. Once John called me, I pick up the hearts on the turn. I check the turn, most likely. And then hopefully, fireworks on the river if we both hit hearts.
Hey,
Can
there you go.
imagine?
Talk about reverse implied odds.
Yeah,
if you hit
yeah.
your heart. Now, I hate to kind of be vague with Omaha Larry here because this question of how do you guys play King Jack, Queen
Right.
Jack, or Jack 10 in middle position? Depending on the players I'm playing against at a table, I could either fold, raise, or limp.
Right.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. I don't know if you're really raising a whole lot with Jack 10 offsuit from up front under the
Well,
gun.
he said middle position.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the table I'm playing at, I
Right,
might raise
right,
with Jack 10
right,
offsuit.
Right.
It's a real passive table that I can buy I can buy myself the button and take control of the table, maybe.
Limped around here.
If it's a straddled pot and I know Mike is in the straddled pot and I know he's going to raise, I might just throw it away. So I know he's going to raise it up anyway.
Five-way action here. 6-6 deuce. No one has anything here. And Paul is going to come out and bet here with ace-5. He actually has the best hand.
Yep.
And he's going to take it down.
Yeah, and Paul's not had a good night tonight. And I got to tell you, Paul's probably been on our show probably somewhere in the range of maybe 15 times. This might be the first time he's ever lost. He rarely wins a lot because he's not really, his swings aren't that big, but he almost never loses.
Interesting email here. I'll read it in a second from Todd Neepson.
Okay.
Because we go over this a lot. Tony. Paul's going to raise here to 175.
Got ace queen. No, he's not going to get any action.
All right, so let's read this email here.
Go ahead.
David Bard, I just thought I'd add my 2 cents about your theories on tilt and hope that you would be able to read this over the webcast. I really feel that you guys are a little out of line by just saying that people are doing things because of tilt. These players are all pretty close to professional level, and they know how to compose themselves, and that's a very key part of the 25-50 level. It just seems as if after someone loses a pot, you guys feel like tilt is why that they're in the next pot, and when they're put to a decision, that people should include tilt into their thought process. I'm not saying Jeez, Dave.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't emphasize it.
Yeah, there you go.
But sometimes we emphasize it too much.
Right.
And perhaps you should change your thoughts on it. I mean, it is a high level of poker, and yes, it is a high level of poker, and the best players in the game will always adjust. You have to realize that, okay, if player A is a great player, but he's winning tonight, he is going to play differently than if player A is a great player and he's losing tonight.
Barbecue John just brought that one with ace-9 there and took it down.
Now, the greatest players in the world will play the same game regardless if they're winning or losing, but there aren't many players like that, and I don't care what level you get.
Hey, look at what Barry Greenstein says about it. I mean, it's right there in his book.
Of course. The best players in the world.
Oh,
they say
man.
Phil Hellmuth, who's supposed to be, obviously, a great tournament player.
Yeah.
He has a strong propensity to go on tilt.
Well, I mean, I have to disagree with you, Todd. Thanks for the email, but hey, just because these guys are in 25-50 low does not mean that they don't go on tilt.
You
just
said you saw Yoshi Nakano go on tilt.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, and to think Alex was not tilting when he moves all in with King 10 there.
Right.
I gotta disagree. I think it was. The fact that he picked up Ace-King 10 minutes later against Barry's Ace-Queen, that kind of bailed him out.
Limped around here 4 ways. Ace-Queen 9 on the flop.
I mean, it's very difficult to keep your emotions out of the game when you have $5,000 swings, $10,000 swings. It's obviously, it is an emotional game.
Turns a 4 of diamonds here, and Barry has made a flush. He had a flush draw, and he's bet the flush here on the turn. And he's going to take it down here without contention, I'm sure. Jonas and Tournament Tony are going to switch seats 7 and 9. Got about, maybe less than 35 or 40 minutes left in the show.
Been a real entertaining night.
Again, remember, tomorrow's going to be 10-20 pot limit. Hold them. The Station on 2+2 says, Bart and Dave adding collection pot to the As Seen on Live at the Bike might be a good addition. Hey, that's a nice suggestion.
Thank you, The Station.
Mental note there for Evelyn.
What the heck's a collection pot?
Button moves over here to seat 5. Action's kind of slowed down a little bit here. I haven't seen a lot of people get mixed up in that many hands.
Well, it's funny, the players that usually have most of the money on the table, players like Barry Woods and players like Jonas, actually have the least amount of money on this table.
Barry completes with 7-8 of hearts, and Jonas is in the big blind with ace-deuce. He checks it. King 8-3. Barry's got mid-pair. Barry checks. Jonas checks right behind him. Wow, turns an ace. That free card that Barry bets 100 and Jonas calls.
Yep.
And if Barry checks the river, I assume Jonas might bet a little bit here. Well, it is a third club. Yeah, he's going to bet 200.
Yeah, Jonas is very good at value betting, even with his real marginal hands.
And Barry calls.
Yeah.
And the ace is good.
And look at that. A hand as weak as ace-deuce.
Yep.
Jonas ends up winning about $1,200 there. And Barry really has not had a good day of it. And I got to tell you, I mean, I actually think Barry's played pretty well tonight. Got stuck in a hand that can be a problem hand. Ace-Queen really can be a problem hand in no-limit hold'em. And he lost a lot of money with that hand. Somewhere in the neighborhood, I want to say about $4,500 in that hand.
Button moves over to Barry Woods here. Seat number 6. So how long did you stay here for last night with your wife?
We played till about 12 or 15, so not very long. She played in the 3 to 5 game, I said, the 5-5 blind game. Won about $160. And I played in the 5-10 game.
Paul is going to raise it up here with Queen-Jack offsuit after Barry limps and Jonas limps. Obviously, that's not normally a hand Paul is going to raise without the blind, but just a late position limper and a complete in the small blind, he's going to take down the money.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Take down dead money. Now, it's funny, Joe Seabach actually sent that email.
That's right.
By watching the show. Obviously, he's friends with Scott Huff. What was the email?
Well, I think that the email basically said it asked you to ask Joe, or Scott, excuse me, a couple of questions. I don't know if Joe realized that he was watching during the replay.
Let's see, Joseph Seabach here. Hey guys, this is Joe Seabach. I'm sitting here playing online and watching live at the bike. Be sure to tell Scott Huff to play his ace rag suited a little less aggressively because it's a cash game. Please also apologize to him from me for continually snapping him off in our low limit, no limit games.
Russ is going to raise here with pocket 9s out of seat 5. And Avo's not going to call with King-Queen in the big blind. Wait, we haven't seen a flop here. It seems like ages now.
Yeah, it's really slowed down a little bit. Well, you wonder, I mean, a couple of players that were kind of giving action. Alex was giving action. He's doubled up, so he's kind of calmed down. Jonas only has $3,000.
Joe Seabach's actually been in the booth when Barry was here, right? Wasn't that Joe?
I don't know. Was Joe in the booth? I didn't know.
Well, I think he came to watch.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
He's one of the real good guys. It's funny. For whatever reason, poker's always gotten a bad name. those, smokers in the back room, kind of seedy players. And I tell you, if you look at a guy like Joe Seabach, it really shows that there is class in poker. It's still a lot of classy guys. Barry Greenstein, obviously, giving him a good role model to follow.
Barry's going to make it 150 to go here with ace 5. Wow.
And I don't think we're going to see a flop again. And it's always funny, sometimes obviously we're playing big money here, and there's probably close to $100,000 on the table right now. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see action.
We had the makings for an incredible lineup, but like you said, Farhad chose not to be canceled out, and Don Don't Call Me Overcall with ace 6 did not call.
Right.
Interesting that Vanessa Russo posted kind of a reply.
Oh, did she?
On 2+2.
What did she say?
I mean, it was rather long. I didn't actually have time to read most of it before.
Was there a... So I was talking to Scott Huff about it,
yeah.
And he basically said that she was a talk of the whole entire tournament, and how the way she was kind of acting and treating other players. He said there was one play where she actually got up. She called some guy. She got up, shook a guy's hand, said nice hand, and then turned over the winning hand and busted out. Talk about a slow roll.
Wow. Jonas is raised here with King 10 of spades, and Paul's called with ace 10 of diamonds.
Well, there's the ace.
And look at this. Jonas has got the nut flush draw, and Paul has an ace. Jonas bets 400.
Yep.
Now, is Paul going to get involved here? Probably he's going to at least call one time, or is he going to pop it right now?
Yeah, I think against Jonas, he's going to raise it right away, and Jonas might repop it and move on. We'll see what happens here. Jonas is not very deep.
He's going to make it 800 more.
And what does Jonas have left? Maybe 2,200?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, he's got to realize there's no fold equity here, right? He's got to know that. He's got to know he's putting money in with being a 2-to-1 dog.
Pot is about 1,500, 800 more to call, and he's got 2,200 left.
I mean, there's zero fold equity. Jonas has pretty much a naked flush draw here because you've got to put Paul on an ace, right? And if you put Paul on an ace here, well, obviously your king is no good. You need a spade.
And Jonas is going to move in.
Yep.
Now, is there not any fold equity? It's another 1,400.
Zero fold equity.
The pot now is about 3,000, 1,400 to call.
Yeah, I would cut off my left nut if Paul folds. No chance. There's just no chance.
Well, we've never seen anybody. We've never seen anybody fold ace 10 only getting 2-to-1, Dave. I mean, I know
it's
Jonas
not going to happen.
I mean, what do you put Jonas on? A flush draw?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you are saying that there's no fold equity, where I think that there actually is some there. I'm not saying Paul's going to lay the hand down. He does
Zero
call.
fold equity. There you go.
He does call.
There was no fold equity. It's Jonas. It's Paul. Paul is losing. Jonas is losing. There's zero fold equity tonight. On a different night, there might be fold equity.
Here we
tonight,
go.
There's none.
Turns a 9. Jonas needs a spade, and there it is. He catches it there at the end.
Yeah, and you know, it's an interesting play by Jonas.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't like the play by Jonas is I think Jonas has to know there's no fold equity there. Now, obviously, with Paul and Jonas, some people say, well, Paul might lay that down on a different night. Yes, on a different night.
All right.
But
well,
tonight, there's no fold equity.
Okay. If you're taking that into account.
How can you not?
Okay.
Tonight's Wednesday, right? The way the game's been going tonight, with Jonas down.
I got to tell you, I mean, I know we're all human, but I really give Paul a lot of credit. I think he's as good a player as it gets here on the show. I don't know if his style changes all that much just because he's losing, like you're saying. I think he's the player where it might not matter.
No, I agree. But you've got to look at it the other way. Jonas is losing, and Paul knows Jonas is losing.
Okay.
Paul also knows with Jonas losing, he might be trying to push those kind of small edges. Right? I mean,
Paul,
more
call
of
this
that.
argument a stalemate, I guess.
I mean, to me, I'm looking at it. Paul's getting 2-1.
Yeah.
You don't think 1 out of 3 times Jonas could be bluffing?
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's why. Paul knows that.
Yeah. And Paul's going to raise it up to 300. He's got ace-queen here. I mean, it goes back to the thing we said before. I mean, when Paul actually raised with the 7-9. Jay, I've never really seen Paul tilt. He doesn't tilt. I think probably the way that you put it probably means more. You know, you'd be more apt to have Paul raise there because he knows Jonas is losing, as opposed to Paul making a call with a weak ace just because he's losing.
Oh,
right?
no, yeah, and that's more of what I meant. I mean, it's more of the entire night. Paul has been here the whole night. He sees how Jonas is playing the entire night.
Yeah.
He knows Jonas is stuck $7,000.
Right.
All those factors into account. Also, it's Jonas, and he's getting 2-1 on his money. Hey.
Well, Jay Katsutani's going to raise it up to 200 here. He's got pocket queens, and Hollywood Russ has got ace-king here. And is Hollywood Russ going to re-pop it?
Out of position.
I think he was just going to call, and now he is going to re-raise.
And I got to tell you, I like the re-raise. How can you really give Jay credit for a real hand on the button?
He's going to make it 600 more, so 800 total, and here we go.
Yeah, this is the problem now.
1,300 here to the flop. Oh, top set of queens here for Jay. And Russ is going to be forced to lead out here, right, Dave?
That's the only problem sometimes with raising with ace-king out of position. You like the raise in the sense that, okay, well, you can't give Jay credit for a real hand.
Now, will Jay just make an immediate raise here and maybe think that Russ, it is a connected board, maybe think that Russ has a high overpair and that he might not be able to get away from kings or aces?
You might.
It's a $1,500 bet, it looks like, by Russ, and Jay, he is going to raise right away.
Yeah, and he's
going to make it 2,000 more. So,
and Russ has got outs. I mean, Russ needs a 10.
Yeah, actually, Russ bet 1,000, and it's a $2,000 raise here by Jay. So the pot now is about 5,600, 2,000 for Russ to call.
And what the heck can Russ beat? I mean, Jay would make this move. Jay does bluff, but would Jay be bluffing here? And what can Russ beat?
I think Jay is raising here also, because I think you got to think that Russ. There's a good chance he's got aces or kings, and maybe he doesn't get away from it. I mean, you've got to look at this flop. We talk about a lot of times, especially with kings here. Kings, there is nothing you can beat. And the other hand that you can't beat is if Jay had aces and smooth called pre-flop.
Well,
right?
that's the whole
re-raise.
Look at this.
And is Russ going to call here? He makes the
my.
call.
Wow, and look at the reaction Jay gets.
Oh, my goodness. We've got a $7,600 pot going to the turn. Turns to 7. It's a blank. And I think that Jay must think Russ has an overpair. Probably aces here, right?
Well, you almost hope he either has aces, kings, or jacks.
Right.
Couldn't he have jacks? I mean, you wouldn't put him on ace-king at this point, would you?
I guess he could also might have 10s as well. Maybe.
Okay.
Jay's going to put another bet in here. He's going to build himself a pot.
Yeah, it looks like
Protect
20
against some draws.
Well, maybe 3,000. Wow, and I got to tell you.
It's a $3,000 bet. The pot is over $10,700 here.
I got to tell you, I like the way Russ has played the hand up till the call. I mean, I like the raise pre-flop.
Yeah.
I like betting out 1,000 on the flop. That's fine, too. But you know what? When Jay comes over the top there, you've got to start reevaluating and go, what can I beat here?
And he's playing with $1,000 chips. Have you ever seen Russ play with $1,000 chips on the table?
Well, he has. He had 20K before this hand started.
I'm just saying, I've never seen him in his hand.
He doesn't look real good at it, I got to tell you. Those are hard to shuffle.
10,700 in the pot. I mean, Russ is drawing here to 4 outs to the 10 and the 10 only.
Yep.
There's a 2 flush out there. Jay's got top set.
And if Russ thinks this is the time to make a move, man, I got to tell you, Jay is hoping he makes a move with aces or maybe a set of jacks. I mean, I don't think he has a set of jacks here. If he has a set of jacks, I don't think he checks on the turn.
Great camera work here by. Is this Ray's or is this Isaac's camera? This is Ray. Yeah, great camera work here. You can kind of look at kind of the subtle facial expression in his chin and some of those facial muscle movements there. Doesn't look too happy right now.
No, he really doesn't, and he's going to throw this away.
He gets away from it.
And probably $2,000 too late, but give him credit for laying it down. The river was a 9, and Jay would have filled up. Wow. Now some people can go, well, why didn't Jay check and let Russ get there or something?
Yeah.
The way that Russ played that hand, you almost have to put Russ on either aces, kings, jacks, or 10s.
Right.
Yeah, I see. He said he thinks he had pocket aces.
Yeah.
And what does Jonas think he had?
Jonas said he had Queen Jack, but I don't think Russ gets away from Queen Jack. I really
Queen
don't.
Jack?
That's what Jonas said.
He raised 600 Queen Jack in the big blind?
King 10 of diamonds? No, I said King 10 with the King of diamonds. I would have limped in with
King 10?
King 10 suited. I folded it under the gun.
Oh, I see. And Jonas is saying he had King 10. And another big hand for Jay.
Yeah.
Takes a bite out of Russ's night.
I get you pretty good.
Russ filled up a lot of money, though.
You have got to realize, again, as you play more and more advanced no limit, the possibility of someone having a higher overpair than you. If you have kings, that is a horrible flop for kings. Queen, Jack, 9 there.
Well, you've got to realize,
Yeah.
Now, remember, when you make it 600 to go,
Yeah.
is there really any urgency for Jay to re-raise you with pocket aces?
Right.
No, there's not. He can just smooth call you.
And like you said,
and
it's
let you
almost
bet
over. You're almost. We always advocate fast playing, but we saw it a couple of weeks ago. You're almost letting somebody who's good enough with queens or kings off the hook. We saw a guy release kings pre-flop because Amir actually pushed his aces too much.
Yeah. A good player can get away from it. And they're talking about what they had here.
Yeah.
Really tough to put Russ on what he had there because Russ made the call on the turn. On the flop.
I mean, maybe you think ace king of diamonds. I mean, if you were to think that.
I got to tell you, if I have ace king of diamonds, all the money might be going in on the flop.
Yeah.
Ace king of diamonds, I got a gut shot with the flush draw, plus overcards. That's a big hand then, huh?
Oh, Jason.
I got 12 outs to the nuts.
I wish I was still stuck. Well, I am still stuck, but...
And Jonas is thinking about what if, because he had king 10 there, but he was in terrible shape.
What?
Well, actually, no, he would have flopped
Yeah,
straight.
he flopped straight.
Yeah, but the river was a 9. Would have filled up Jay,
Right.
and Jay would have won the pot anyway.
Limped around here. Ace, queen, 5, all hearts.
I know Jonas will watch this later, and Jonas should be happy to know he would have lost that pot anyway to queen's fold.
Well, I think all the money would have been in there before that.
Doesn't make a difference, though.
175.
Barry's
Still going to lose it.
Barry's getting about 175 here with a weak ace. See how Jonas is going to play ace 9. He's not even going to get involved. He doesn't have a high heart. Oh, wait a minute. Is he folded? Oh, he's not going to. Oh, I thought that he released his hand.
I was going to say, it's an awfully quick fold to Barry's bet on the button,
Yeah.
isn't it?
He's going to call. Maybe see what happens behind him. Everyone folds. He's got to like that.
I mean, against Barry's button steal
He's
here,
in great shape here.
he really is.
Turns a 5. Well,
Well,
now
now
this
they're
one's
gonna
going to get chopped up.
Jonas can catch a 9 to win the pot. Barry's drawing dead.
Check, check.
Or a heart. A 9 or a heart to win it.
And the river's a 5. Both players have full houses.
Yeah. 5's full aces.
And Jonas checks and Barry bets. 400. Jonas calls. Chop it up.
Well, I wasn't sure you had the ace. Doesn't matter. $65.
I love Barry's logic, too. He goes, I wasn't sure you had the ace. Well, what the heck's he going to call you with then? What, is he going to pay you off with a queen? I guess he could. And
Paul
Paul
is
is,
left.
he's out of the house now.
Yeah.
Has not had a good go of it tonight, unfortunately for him.
Did you have that hand rest?
I think we're going to get a new player here coming up.
Yeah, we've had 2 tables of this going all night long.
Do we have a second table going as well? Or is that a 10-20 game? Oh, yeah, it's a kind of a
10-20
brown,
game?
Yeah, brown chip game.
Oh, cool. Maybe Donna can put me on the board for the 10-20 game. Hint, hint. Hint, hint.
And the 5-10 game, me and the 10-20.
Hint, hint,
500,000 for BH and then DT.
Yeah, DT first, then BH.
Limp here.
175.
$175 raise here by Barry with ace 10. Jonas is going to call pocket threes. And Tournament Tony's going to call with 64 suited here.
Yeah, we got a nice email here from William Frick. How you doing, buddy?
Brings Avo in from behind with queen 10 of spades. Wow. And
What is it, 7 ways?
6 ways.
6 ways times a 150?
175. So
Wow.
over $1,000 pot here to the flop. Barry the pre-flop raiser. 8-8-6. Nobody has an 8. It looks like Tony's got the best hand here. Now here's the thing with Tony that sometimes you suss out. He's going to bet 150 into a...
What, you knew it was coming before you even said
Well,
it.
what I was going to say was that I don't think he'd ever bet an 8 out there. He thinks he's so tricky, you know? Barry calls.
He's a
Oh, wait a minute. No, he doesn't.
tournament player.
That's going to get it done, though.
Well, how can you call this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you calling if you have that?
Yeah.
Nobody had anything.
Email here from Med Crew. He says, ask Avo what it's like from going to the 100 no limit game to the whale game in under 2 years. Is that true?
Might be. Hey, you know what? A lot of these players, all you need to do is you make one big score and you can move up.
Yeah.
I mean, think about where you were 2 years ago playing No Limit Hold'em. You know?
Well, it didn't exist, really.
Yeah, 2 years ago, though. I mean, 2 years
Yeah.
is a long time if you're playing poker, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week.
$225 raise here by Tony. He's got pocket 8. He's going to take it down.
Interesting question here from Mark Bonagura. Says, hey, do you guys think that Paul's play, and that was the pro in Seed 8 who's actually up, is more conducive for it to be a professional poker player, or Jason's play more conducive? And you know what? They're both conducive. It's really what style suits you better. Both players are obviously successful players. They're both very good.
Contrasting styles, obviously.
Exactly. I mean, Jason's swings are going to be a lot bigger. His wins are probably going to be bigger. His losses are going to be bigger.
You know, it's funny. Somebody asked a question over in the high limit, no limit section of 2+2 about Jason because they, or Jay, they'd seen him on the show.
Yeah.
And some of the guys over there who are respected, internet high limit players who play a lot big, called him a lagtard.
Yeah,
Four-way action here. 9-9-8 here. We had a raise, I believe it was by, I want to say it was by Avo with King-Queen. Well, Jay's going to come out and lead with an 8, and he's going to take it down.
I got to tell you, it's really easy for somebody to criticize somebody else when they're home watching the hands. I would venture to challenge anybody to come on down here who thinks they're so good at poker to come on down here and challenge, and play these guys. Live poker's a lot different than online.
It's interesting word, though, lagtard. Loose, aggressive tard.
Yeah. It's funny. It's hard to really generalize, and it's hard to say how a player plays or how good he is, only seeing him, say, 3 hours a week for maybe 20 hours. But at the same time, I think you and I have gotten a good feel for his game watching this. And from what we've seen, I really like his game. His instincts are good.
Tony's going to bring this one in for a raise with ace-8 of diamonds. Jay calls here with dominated diamonds, king-10. Alex has not been in a hand in a while. He calls with an ace-9. And Russ is in there with deuce-4. Well, ace-7-3 here. Ace-8 and ace-9. Now, Alex Kicker's going to play. He's going to come out and bet. Now, you raise it up with ace-8. Now a guy bets into you on an undraw-heavy board. You just get away from the ace-8? Is this where kind of Tournament Tony might get into a little bit of trouble?
Yeah, you imagine he might. You never know.
And Russ calls with a gut shot of the 5 here. And now I think it's even an easier laydown, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you overcall here with ace-8?
He's got no backdoor draw whatsoever. And he's going to call. And he's in bad shape right now. Alex's 9 will play. With the 3 and the 7 out there, there are a lot of low cards.
What might work for him is they might check it to him on the turn here. Because Alex's hand isn't that great either.
Well, Alex, he might fire it one more time here. Doesn't want to give a free card out, and he's going to bet again.
He bets 800 here into a pot that's about 1,500.
It's a nice bet, half-size bet. There's not really much of a draw out there. That's the only thing. Now, if I bet with ace-9 and get called in 2 spots with that kind of board, man, what do these guys have?
I don't know if I would fire again on that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think your hand is not good.
I mean, I don't put Russ on a gut shot here, but apparently he called with a gut shot. I mean, Russ, you've got to think to yourself, even if you hit the 5, you've got 4 outs. And now, you know, a backdoor hearted 5, you might not even get that as much action as you want.
Yeah.
How much can you get paid off from ace-9 and ace-8?
It's an odd play here, and I got to tell you, Tony's in bad shape right now. Unless the board pairs.
This one might just get checked down here. I think it might get checked down. I don't know if Alex can fire a 3rd bullet with ace-9.
Oh, look at that. The 2.
Wow,
Russ would have
made it. Yeah, check. Check.
And 9 is going to play.
I just do not. I mean, like you said, I have respect for Tony, but I don't get that at all. I really don't.
Yeah,
ace-9 is going to take it down there.
I mean, you think when Russ called, it saves you. You get rid of ace-8.
Now look at this. I mean, Tony shows the table the ace. That's got to make your eyebrows go up. He folded the hand, he showed the ace, and he mucks his hand, which means that he must have ace-8, ace-6, ace-4, ace-deuce, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, if you're Alex there, you got to be thinking, man, this guy called me twice. I'm dead. There's no way I can win.
I got to tell you, if I fire in there, for some reason, say I called in the blind with ace-9 suited, I fire into that board and I get called in 2 spots. Call me weak, but I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much done, especially with Russ in between. Now, maybe I have a different...
there are no draws out there.
Well, maybe now I have a different opinion of Russ now that I've seen he's kind of opened up. Yeah, opened up. Jonas is going to raise here with an ace-king.
Yeah, and I think Russ has got 6s. Wow, he's not going to play. Oh, actually, he had 5-6. I thought he had 6s.
Yeah. So, did your wife play the 3 to 5 game?
Yeah, I told you she played 3-5 game for a couple of hours.
And she did okay?
Won $160.
Why don't you get her to start playing in some, like, Lips events or something?
I'm actually really trying to push her to play some of these women's events. I think the competition is just so weak in those events that she'll do well.
Maybe play the World Series women's event.
I'd love her to.
What is that? Only $1,000 or $1,500?
$1,000 entry tournament.
Yeah.
And I remember Teresa Chang, who actually came in 6th place last year, who we're both friends with. She was telling me how the play was so weak tight, passive tight.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you know what? Really plays into my wife's game. I think she can really dominate.
Is she a lagtard?
No, she's not a lagtard. Definitely not a lagtard, but she's kind of tight, aggressive player.
Well, Russ is going to bet in here with the top end of an open-ended straight draw, and that might get it done. And I actually, you know, I don't mind the bet here at all.
No, it's a nice bet.
He's got a semi-bluff hand. Going to take it down.
I mean, it's one of those hands where you bet it. If you get called, it's not such a bad thing. You got to draw.
I think actually some of the guys on 2+2 called Jay a standard lagtard. That was the...
I mean, I don't know why I find myself defending him. I feel like a protective dad or something. But I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's really easy for people, and I don't want to alienate people, but I don't really give a shit. I find it really easy for people to hide behind their computer and criticize other players. But hey, who am I to know anything?
Button moves here to seat 5. Jay's going to limp in here with a suited ace. It's like ace-7. Gary's got queen-8, diamonds. Four-way action here, $200 pot. 9-6-4 with a couple of hearts. Looks like Jonas might be out in front here with 6-5.
Yeah, you're right. He is. Best hand.
Turns a 9. Maybe he's going to put some money in here.
I imagine he probably will throw a little bet in there. Take it down.
No, it checks around.
Wow.
And now Jay is going to bet. And maybe this is a check call spot here for Jonas.
Might be a check raise spot for Jonas.
He calls.
What you gonna raise, John?
Here we go to the river.
There's a 7. Wow, and Jay gets there.
Jay gets there. Could Jay ever value bet here? I mean, you got to think you would have heard from Jonas if he had a 9, right? Well, Jonas is going to throw a little $300 kind of defensive
And look at
bet.
Jonas, and Jay even goes, I got lucky, because he knows.
Yeah.
He knows that Jonas had a 7. I mean, Jonas had a 6.
Now, wait a minute. Was it Jonas that bet there, or did Jay bet? It looked like
Oh, Jay did bet.
Jay did a little bet. He did make a $300 value bet there on the river.
Wow, nice bet.
Yeah.
And Jonas is left shaking his head.
I think you bet 600. Depends how you
Button moves over to seat number 6. Small blind $25, big blind $50, and seat number 8. I mean, it's funny. Sometimes I actually read Jonas postings on 2+2. He's Riverboat King on 2+2.
Right.
And a lot of times you see a lot of these tight internet players, or not even. I don't want to generalize tight internet, but at the same time you see a lot of them talking about play. And Jonas often will say, "Why don't you come play live and play like that?"
Got a raise here by Jay. He's got pocket 10s. Russ is going to call Jay with King Deuce of Diamonds.
And Georgian's in there with 3s.
King Deuce of Diamonds, and Avo's in there with pocket 5s. And look at the flop for Russ. He's got a diamond draw with a paired board.
And Jay's got an overpair, though.
Jay bets. He bets 600 here.
I mean, it's not a bad flop for Avo or George.
I don't
we
think
haven't
they're
heard
an overcall, though.
We really haven't heard from Avo all night long, have we?
Well, Russ is called here. Turns a 9. Could you ever represent an 8 either raising the flop or raising the turn here?
Of course you can.
Pot is almost 2,000 right now, and Jay's going to bet again.
I mean, if Russ were to raise here on the semi-bluff, it really put Jay in a tough spot,
Now,
wouldn't it?
Russ raised before against that other guy when he had an open-ended straight draw, and the guy had queens.
Yeah. But he's just going to call this, I think.
No, I think he's going to min raise here. He's pulling the move here again. He's going to min raise here with the flush draw, similar to what he did with 8-10 a couple weeks ago, and Jay immediately calls. We've got about a $7,000 pot to the river.
Oh!
And the river is a king.
And if you're Russ, you've got to bet this, don't you?
I think you bet for value here.
Definitely.
And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 3,000.
Oh, it's a great bet by Russ.
3,000 into about a $6,000 or $7,000 pot there.
I love the bet by Russ. And wow, and Jay gets away from it. You know, and Russ, you wonder now. Now, Russ bet with the king. Obviously, he's going to bet if a diamond comes. And I'm assuming Russ is going to bet if he misses. And Jay did not call. I don't think Jay has. There's no way Jay is going to put him on a king there, right? Nice play by Russ. I mean, I think he successfully represented an 8.
All right, we're going to do a chip comp. This does not include the last hand. Add Russ for about maybe 5,000 or 6,000 more there.
There you go. Well, Tony's got the most money. He's got 20,000. We got about 100 at the table. Barbecue John. I mean, I've almost forgotten he's there. He's got $2,000.
Take a look at the differences here.
Yeah.
4 diamonds.
Well, there they are. Jay is our big winner now.
Well, it's actually, well, remember.
Pretty even. They're probably both up 10.
Well, Jay moves down about 3,000 and Russ moves up about 3,000. So Russ is the big winner here, over 10,000. Jay about an $8,000 or $9,000 winner. Look, Tony up to 4,300 there.
Yeah, Avo up a little bit.
Yeah.
Rest of the players down. Jonas made a little bit of money back. He's only down about 4,500, 5,000 now.
Now Alex had raised up. I believe actually it was limped around, and he's going to raise with. He's going to bet this flop with jacks. He didn't raise in late position with jacks there. And Barry calls with top pair, 7-8. He's got a gut shot.
How about
to the
Tony's
6.
hand?
But Tony, he flopped straight.
And of course he's.
Oh man, I mean Alex has got to be good enough that he can get away. But look at this, Tony is just going to call. 2 diamonds out there, turns a 9.
Wow. And Barry's still got the gut shot.
Tony is quite the slow player, Dave. I mean, we play with him so much.
Yeah, and look at Alex. Alex is putting out a nice size bet there. And Barry's probably going to get away from it. Barry needs to get away from this now. Especially with Tony calling behind you. And there he is. He throws it away. Nice lay down by Barry.
If Tony ever bet, you know he doesn't have that strong of a hand, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just double checking it straight there.
Yeah.
Chewing on some cud.
Jonas has been chewing on some cud all night over there with that toothpick.
Tony thinking of what to do here, and is he going to raise this up?
He's got that's a $5,000 chip in his hand.
I think he's going to raise this up here. And Alex is going to be put to the test here.
How much is the bet here on the turn by Alex?
Problem is, it's a limped around pot. You really don't want to go broke in a limped around pot.
He can't take any heat with this whatsoever.
I mean, Alex can't really beat much, can he? He can't beat 10, and he can only beat 10s, really, right?
You know, it's kind of a quandary, catch-22. He bet 2,200 on the turn. He's building himself an awful big pot for a limped pot with a small overpair, and Tony is going to raise.
And how much is the raise?
Well, this pot is now about 3,000 to 4,000, and he's going to raise 6,000.
Wow.
6,000. Oh, Alex, this has got to be the easiest laydown in the world.
Man, you wonder. I mean, Tony, he's almost putting so much money in there.
Well, that's what he's trying to do.
Make it look like a steal. Alex can only beat 10s. I mean, I'm trying to think of another hand he can beat. How about 10 Jack of Diamonds? Well, he's got the Jack of Diamonds in his hand, so that's not real. How about like 10-7 of Diamonds? I mean, I'm trying to think of some sort of draw that Tony might make this move with. And
how about a flush draw with a 6 or a 7?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Ace-high flush draw with a 7 in his hand.
But remember, this pot was limped around.
Yeah, Alex is going to get away from it.
Yeah.
It's a good laydown by Alex. Good laydown by Alex. And Tony says, you beat me.
You got to wonder if Tony had actually led out in the flop if he would have made more money.
If he leads out,
yeah,
he might get a raise there. Then he can check. Maybe you get a bet. Then you can check raise there. I mean, there's different ways you can play it.
This is going to be the last hand of the night here? I'm getting word? Yes? Okay. So this is going to do it here. Folks, again, stay tuned for tomorrow's game, which is a little 10-20 pot limit hold'em. That's always fun, Dave.
Yeah, I gotta
continue that trend.
Gotta tell you, it's been a fun night here. Russ and Jay are big winners of the night.
Yeah.
You got my number tonight, you know. Trying to get back.
Tony now up probably close to about $6,000 as well. I want to thank everybody for the emails you guys sent in. Love to keep the show interactive. Get a limp in here from George with Jack 10 offsuit. And Tony's going to... Is he going to limp in here with King 9? Yeah, he is. He's going to limp in with King 9. And we're going to see this 5 ways, $250 pot. And there's the 3. There's a set of 3s for Alex.
Well,
nobody has an ace for him, though.
It's a rainbow board. This is what you dream about with the set when there's an ace out there.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get any action on it.
No, I don't think so. And Alex is going to take it down.
There it is. And that is going to do it for us tonight. So Russ, Hollywood Russ, again, the big winner tonight.
Yeah, he's had a good night.
Played some hands a little bit strangely, made some nice moves, made some questionable moves. Really opening up his game a bit.
Yeah, really stepped into the box.
And again, you can stick around for tomorrow night's game, which will be a little 10-20 pot limit hold'em, and then Friday will be 10-20 no limit hold'em. So we'll be back here in, 21 hours. Check us out on the replay. For everyone here in the booth and for the lag-tar Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hansen. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.